Hello? 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 Perhaps I was the cryptic number that just called you.
Hello? Yes. So what's up? What's up?
Hello? What are you packing for? What are you packing for?
Hello? Yes.
Seriously, was that a pun?
Yes.
What a quinky dinky.
Yes.
Hello? Perhaps I'm. Hello? I said perhaps I'm stalking you. What a quinky dinky.
Yes.
I don't know. What did I have to ask you?
So what's up?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Hello?
So when are you returning from Vegas?
Hello?
Tuesday.
What are you packing for?
Tuesday. What a quinky dinky. Tuesday.
Can I
take you out for a drink? I'm pulling up a calendar because we're setting this up right now. Take you out for a drink? Tuesday.
Yes. So what's up?
What are you packing for? What did I have to ask you?
Yes.
What a quinky dinky. So when are you returning from Vegas? Tuesday. Bye, Christy.
Yes.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Don't mind if I do.
Covino and Rich. Are you ready?
Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
Heard all about on the radio.
Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
Yeah! The day that's kept us going is here. It's officially a Tuesday. On a Tuesday. 22. Yeah, Cheats. It's Covino and Rich.
Finally, leave me alone.
That's Spotty, everybody. He's our producer. Live on a Tuesday. And I don't know what we're going to do at 11:22 on the West, which is 2:22. Yeah. And 22 seconds on the East later today. Yeah, we're going to just circle jerk. Because it's finally here, and this has kept us going. I'm Covino, that is Rich.
Do we get to relive the phone call itself at some point, or is that retired, Spot?
I think we just did. I think that was enough.
I don't know.
Well, let's be rocking out. Let's go!
So, when are you returning from Vegas?
Tuesday.
Enjoy your tacos. Enjoy your tamales. Eat tamales. It's a Tuesday. A taco Tuesday.
I gotta ask you.
Yeah.
What are you packing for?
What are you packing for?
What are you packing for?
Yes.
Spot, what are your favorite lines from your
Yes.
famous call?
What a coinky dinky? Is that your favorite?
What a quinky dinky.
Quink. Well, that had to be the best.
I can't imagine anyone watching or listening to
Perhaps I am
the Covino and
stalking
Rich
you.
podcast that doesn't know the infamous Spot awkward
Tuesday.
single, when he was single, hitting on some girl, Tuesday phone call. If you don't know it, I don't know what to tell you, but there are probably 5 lines from that call, Spot, that are legendary. What a quinky dinky.
What a coinky dinky.
Yes.
When are you returning from
So when are you? What are you packing for?
What are you packing for?
When are you returning from Vegas?
Maybe I am the cryptic number.
Perhaps
that
I
called
was
you.
the cryptic number. That was
Perhaps I was the
So
cryptic
when are you
number.
returning from Vegas?
I'm returning on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Imagine.
In honor
By
of
the
your
way,
return to Vegas.
In honor of your return to Vegas.
Can I take you out for a drink?
Sure.
Sure.
Imagine if she returned on like Wednesday.
Would have changed
It
everything.
would have changed the entire
There's
course of my life.
Some people out there that might not
Wednesday.
remember that phone call from Awkward Spot over 10 years ago.
Wednesday.
We forced Spot to make the move on a woman that he's had his eye on for a long time. And
Saturday. It doesn't
he
have the same
recorded it. It was odd. And Tuesday became his day.
I'm thinking of all the different lines.
Tuesday.
Mike hit us up out the gate and he wrote, didn't you say at one point, quote, I'm pulling out my calendar right
Pulling
now.
out my calendar right now. Yeah, it was in the song.
I'm pulling out my calendar right now. I think the best
set
line,
this up.
the best line could be just the first one, because he says Vegas with a
So when are you returning from Vegas?
no Spot. Listen,
Vegas.
we've all had our weak
How's
moments.
Spot doing his like debonair sort of smooth guy
That's
thing?
what I'm saying. We've all had our weak
Vegas.
moments that we've made fun of each other on the show by far. But Spot, your voice, your attempt to be like smooth guy when you said Vegas.
Vegas.
Just listen to it one time. You're trying to sound so cool.
So when are you returning from Vegas?
Just
Hello?
Do that very cryptic
Oh.
number. That
No, this is the long one. No. Sorry. I don't want to play the long one.
So when are you returning from Vegas?
Vegas.
I'm
You're like
returning on
Uncut
Tuesday.
Gems.
Uncut
Tuesday. In honor of your return to Vegas, can I take you out for a drink?
Sure.
Sure.
You know why too, though?
So
I'm
when are you
imagining
returning from
you
Vegas?
recorded this phone call through a microphone.
I remember exactly.
So he's probably feeling his voice and feeling himself because he's all beefy and bassy sounding. It's not a regular phone call on a phone. He recorded it through our studio. So
I
he's like,
remember
"What are you
I
doing
remember it
from
was during the show. You made me go, baby. You made me go during the show. And I went to one of those little studios. It was like around the corner down the hallway, along the windows, one of those production studios. And I sat in there and I recorded this phone call.
Oh, that's why too, because you're feeling
Man.
beefy, like in the moment, like you're feeling the bass.
Someone suggested something. Someone suggested something I think is
What did
a
I?
great idea.
Did I hit up Tuesday Girl and see how she's doing?
No.
Oh,
Tier 2.
oh.
If you watch our videos and you watch the extras, Tier 2.
Tuesday.
Why don't you
Tier
have
Tuesday?
Why don't you have your wife break down that phone call?
Oh no.
I would love to hear your.
She's
current,
just gonna say. She's just gonna say you're a creep. Oh my God, you're a creep.
What
That's
a
all she's gonna
dork.
say. Oh, you're a creep. God, what a creep.
Yeah, but she loves you. She's
No, she
beautiful.
doesn't.
She's
She
way
thinks
better
I'm a
looking.
creep.
She's way better looking than Tuesday Girl. So why don't you have your
Tuesday Girl-
wife?
Tuesday Girl really held up.
Oh, she did.
She did. She was always what I refer to as two-faced, a la Seinfeld. In certain photos, she looked dynamite, and then in certain photos, like the lighting was off, and you're just like, whoa.
It's like that
I made
blind
the
girl
right
on Love
choice.
is Blind.
I made the right choice.
Sometimes lighting
But in certain photos,
really
it's like,
make or break a person.
yeah.
Covino's right. Not
You
to
can go
sound
from like weathered to like, oh.
not to sound rude, but Covino's right. The blonde girl on Love Is Blind. There are times where I was like, "Yo, the hot blonde girl." I'm like, "Did I call her the hot blonde girl? She is not the hot blonde girl." Then other times,
At
like, "Oh,
times-
she is the hot blonde
At
girl."
times you're like, I would. And then other times you're like, I wouldn't. So it's lighting, it's makeup, a little bit of everything. Good picture, good filter nowadays. We could all be easily fooled.
I think your phone call to Tuesday Girl might be the most epic phone call of all time. Even more epic than when Ernie called Veronica Vaughn. Even when
That was pretty epic.
what are some epic phone calls? They're not many. Got to maybe get the girls to analyze it one day. Spot.
I mean, Sarah's heard it.
Why don't we
Has Jordan
pick-
ever
you know
heard
what?
this call?
To
She already thinks you're creepy. It's all
listen,
good.
Spot, to make it an even
Thanks.
playing field.
I'll
Why don't we
remember that
take-
the next time she
to-
wants me to take a photo of her.
To make it
I made that up.
to make it an even playing field,
I am
why don't we take one embarrassing moment from each of us, and next time the girls are together, have them break it down. Like you could take my phone. There was a phone call where I think I asked that a girl on the air back
I
in
have
the day.
that. You want to hear that?
Not really. We should probably have just the whole thing, but we could probably give it to the
Asked
girls.
that a girl on the air? I don't remember that.
Yeah, remember it was the girl that Rich had wanted to
It was,
had
it
a
was
thing
a,
for.
it was a
She was out
model.
of the-
It
she
was a
out of the-
model I met in the lobby that one of our coworkers accused me of using our workplace as my dating ground.
But who was it? Anyone I remember?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
a
was-
girl named Liz.
You remember?
Oh.
her. She had the big giant
Floppers.
kazooms
Yeah.
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 that Rich never really got to play with because he blew it.
Yeah.
True
You
story.
blew it. You blew it. You could have just been like,
Maybe you don't know if I did.
Remember, like, Liz is
No, I mean, like,
Rich
for
is
more than,
gonna
like, a month.
motorboat, Lizzie, Rich is gonna motorboat.
Oh, was that the
all
song you
live
did?
long day. And we were like, Rich is gonna motorboat all the live long day. Remember that?
I
We
don't,
sang
think,
that
I don't
song?
think we did that, but that's a great song. But what did you do that to, though?
That song?
Oh, well, anyway, maybe that's something we do in the
I
future.
know. That song was the Shannon Gunn song.
Oh.
That Carlos.
and then Rich made me make a lame montage
Chicago
to it. I
area.
remember that. He made me like put it over like awesome like music. Like he found love. I have that if you want to hear it.
Listen, I think that's a tier 2 special spot.
Tier 2 special.
Let's do it. All right. Where do you want to start today? I had like an aggravating night. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, we always start where we left off, man. It's nothing new. It's been 17 years. It's kind of what we do on a Tuesday.
Coincidentally,
Coincidence.
that girl's name was Liz, and I ended up with an Elizabeth. Sarah's first name, Elizabeth.
Doesn't even count.
She's the only Beth Sarah. Most Southerners are Sarah Beth. Technically, she's Elizabeth Sarah. So my wife is Beth Sarah.
But don't they call? Doesn't I feel like her mother calls her Sarah Beth?
Her dad calls her Sarah Beth. Now, yeah, it was producer Laura from the Bauer Show that accused me of using our workplace as my dating ground.
I mean, she was right, but
She's
like,
not
she was
wrong,
right.
but there was nothing wrong with guys in their 20s talking to women they had on their show, working for Maxim, going to parties.
She wasn't on our show.
That's the thing.
She was on their show.
You were using somebody else's show as your
doesn't
dating
matter.
pool.
Doesn't matter.
And you wanted to motor.
If I saw a good-looking girl in the lobby and I'm single and she's not an employee, yeah, what's going on? I'm Rich. Nice to meet you.
We were singing that song in the hallway, so maybe it aggravated her a little bit.
Which one?
Rich is gonna motorboat Lizzie. I don't think you were singing that.
Rich is gonna motorboat all the live long day.
I almost want to hear this.
Yeah, we were doing that.
Save it, Spot. Tier 2 special,
I
bro.
almost want to hear what it sounds like. Forget it.
I don't remember Rich doing that. I remember Rich having a thing for that girl, but I don't remember Rich doing the phone call.
Yeah, there was only, I mean, until I met my wife, I think there were 3 girls we've had on our show that I had legit crushes on where I went for it. Like, not just hooked up. I was like, yo, Covino, I think I like this girl. Just so you know.
I guarantee that his call is 1,000 times less awkward than mine, but still a little bit of awkward.
Yeah, no, any call's going to be awkward, which is why anytime there's a celebrity who has their text messages or phone messages released out of context, even Ryan Reynolds or The Rock or Momoa would seem lame. Like, even the coolest guy on earth.
Mel Gibson.
The coolest guy on earth.
Want to go get some ice cream? We're like, he said ice cream.
What a loser.
Like, anything you say is going to sound corny.
Maybe we could, hang, do something casual. He said casual.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, no matter what you say.
It is always awkward.
He said cash. He didn't even say you.
So,
how about that time the Scream guy called me up? That was awkward.
That was really great.
That was really
I think
awkward.
the dumbest story of phone calls in the show's history, second only to Spot's Tuesday phone call, is when there was a girl on our show. This is during the old school Maxim days. And
Maxim.
Looking back, we weren't doing anything rude. It's just girls would come on our show to be interviewed because it was Maxim and we'd have models come on.
It was a requirement.
And honestly, our boss was like, you need to do this.
A requirement that you did not mind.
No, it was a requirement, but it was also a requirement for them not to have like boyfriends or guys lingering. So Sammy J, our old producer before Spot, told some girl's boyfriend, like, yeah, like, be a dude, wait in the lobby or somewhere else. And he's like, I want to go in the studio.
You used to tell me that a lot. You used to tell me to like,
get this
I
guy
don't,
out
I don't
of
want
here.
anybody else in the studio.
Which,
It's
by
just
the
a girl.
way, that was like an old rule. It's like, we don't need other eyes taking us out of our zone.
Like, if some
yeah,
girl's like,
I don't want his face looking at my face when I'm trying to do a broadcast.
If some girl's like, I'm a swimsuit model in Maxim.
I don't need her boyfriend breathing down my neck when I'm doing a show.
I don't need a
I'm still
Biff
right
in the
on
corner.
that.
I don't
I
need
would
Biff in the
still
corner.
stand by that. I still stand by that rule. That's unprofessional. Like, get the fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. Hey, nice to meet you. Fuck out of here.
No, I saw pull that move recently. Avril Lavigne, when I interviewed her like a week ago. There's a lot of record people and people just standing around. She's like, why is so many people in here? Can we like get everyone out of here that doesn't need to be here? And I was like, oh,
awesome.
I like that. Honestly, it ended up being me, her, and one other person in the room. She's like, yeah, we don't need 10 people standing here. So
It's not a like little kid doctor's visit where mom has to be there.
yeah, so we would tell these boyfriends, or we would have Spot or Sammy J, because that's what a producer does. Hey, can you wait in the lobby, or you could go in another studio and listen, but got to get out of here. Some meathead was not having it, and he was like, I'm going to kill you.
He's wrong, by the way. Even till this day, I stand my ground.
This
That-
guy had
was
no
that,
business
was
in our
that
studio.
Spencer?
Yeah, the guy's
Yeah.
name was Spencer. Not a Sirius XM, not the Sirius XM guy that used to book all our guests.
Not one person was thinking that.
No, but I'm saying that we'd said that name a lot over the years. Spinster Spencer. This guy was like, I'm gonna kill you. He called, like, apparently he was like, I can't be in the studio. I'm gonna fucking beat those guys up. Like, he was
He wanted to beat you
especially me for some reason.
So you were probably groping his wife. Or
First of all, I wasn't
girlfriend.
groping. First of all, I wasn't groping anyone. And
I mean, I
secondly,
don't remember.
It
I'm
wasn't
just
his.
assuming.
It wasn't his wife.
Sure you were
it was
eye
just
fucking the shit out of her though.
I probably
just, like,
was.
Across the console.
Yeah, I was like,
Rich's infamous across console stare.
Yeah, thrusting his eyeballs.
so
It's crazy eyes.
Yeah. It was like this. Oh, sorry for all the spots, but it does get to the thing.
Rich across
It was across the microphone.
Rich
so it was
across
like-
the console was such a creep.
What you don't realize is that my wife had the creepiest stare ever back to me, which is probably why we're together. Welcome back to Maxim Radio. I think the Sarah stare across the console.
You think everyone had a stare
That's
at
one
you.
picture. Yeah, you just caught a moment.
I caught a
that
moment.
That was you like all the time.
Yeah, that was you in perpetuity.
And we would do it. We would like laugh because anytime Rich would press a button, he would do it to like impress our guests. And he would do it like how Dana Carvey would change guitar chords. Rich would go,
perpetuity. Did he just say the word perpetuity?
Rich would play a sound effect. Fade it down. He would try to show off in front of all these hot chicks.
The eye of the creeper.
Yeah.
that was every days.
So, Spot, I just sent you the picture of creepy Sarah. You could pull that up.
I love how you think this is your evidence, but you definitely.
Creepy Sarah. Creepiest of creeps.
No. You're the creepiest.
So this guy Spencer was like, I want to be in the studio. I'm going to beat those guys up. So we were like, yo, Sammy J.
Again, we were simply saying,
like, listen,
your girlfriend is the guest.
Yeah.
Beat it. Like, why are you coming into our dojo?
If we're supposed to be interviewing...
Dudes do not exist in this dojo.
If we're supposed to...
This is me, Rich, and Spot.
Interviewing your model girlfriend and asking her sort of salacious questions, which was the job at the time. We don't need you, Biff, Spencer, her overprotective boyfriend, lingering in the studio like, "Argh."
We need Carmine in his meat hooks.
Out of our dojo.
In his like 1990s leather jacket, standing behind us.
So the guy goes to the lobby, and apparently then he goes outside. He like storms out of the building like, I'm going to get those guys.
I remember he was mad at you, though.
Yeah, for some reason he was like, or he called up or got my number somehow. Like this guy, we had his number. Because here's the fun story. Long story short. Nailed it.
Oh, too late. By the way, this is the stare.
Yeah,
it's just a moment.
No. That's Sarah looking at me saying like,
Then this girl.
I want the fucking Dickens. That's her saying
then
like.
The girl on the left wants Covino's Dickens because she was looking towards Covino.
Yeah, look at
Hi, Sarah.
Look at this look you're giving me. Come over here.
I got to get the Sarah.
Yeah, please put him in his place.
You were in character.
No,
character. That's not true. That
she
look,
was in character.
Look at that look. Come here. Come next to me, and I want you
Sarah,
to
come in.
I want you to look. She was I fucking me. You were I fucking me. You were I effing me. Look at that. Look at that right there. Look at you. Yeah.
She's in character.
No, that's
She's
you.
not even
That's
looking
you.
at you.
That's you wanting it.
She's checking
I
the
get
clock.
it.
She's looking at the time to see
get
how
it.
much longer she has
Just
to
pat
do
him
it.
on Sarah. Pat him on the head.
Babe, I always want your Dickens.
Oh, you want see? Look at that. So
Who's that girl on the left? What's her name? What's she up to?
So we have this guy who wants to linger in the studio, Spencer. Long story short, this girl leaves, and we're getting harassed by this guy. I think he like left a message like, I'm waiting downstairs, or I'm gonna get these guys, or something. I forget the details. All I know is that there was like some type of like casual threat involved, like, I'm gonna fuck those guys. I'm gonna beat them.
He was like, I'll get you next time, Dickie. Next time. It was some sort of weird, creepy phone call he left us.
Our next guest was the Hulkster, brother. Hulk Hogan was on our show. And Hulk's like, what's going on, brothers? I'm like, oh, Hulk, I'll tell you what's going on. Some guy's mad because he thinks we were trying to get with his girl, but we weren't. But he's like threatening me now. And I believe Hulk said, I'll handle this, brother. So we called this guy, and Hulk Hogan left a message on his answering machine. Back then when there were voicemails and answering on his voicemail.
I can't
it was like,
believe that looking back.
Spencer, brother, don't go near Covino and Rich, or I'm going to get you, brother. Like the Hulkster left this guy like a weird message, and he never bothered us again. Like
It's only fun if Spot has that payoff of a clip, which I don't think he has.
At one point we did have it. But the Hulkster called this guy.
How am I supposed to know where this is?
I mean, it's like a needle in a haystack.
Right?
It really is. But
How am I supposed to
remember,
know?
we
I know.
operated on CDs back then. And we are in the process of transferring and digitizing all those things.
Yeah.
But all those clips. But yeah, Hulk Hogan called up on our behalf to put this
bozo in his place.
This botchicaloop in his place. Listen here, Spencer.
What you gonna do when Rich runs wild on you? I got his back, brother. I got his back,
So can you imagine that guy? Imagine this fucking wannabe gangster coming home. Boop. Beep. Listen here, brother. Spencer. He called him
Spinster Spencer.
So yeah, that was awkward. I don't even know where that came from.
Do you think that guy kept that message? Had to. Oh my God, Hulk Hogan just told me Hulk
Hogan
like threatened me.
He probably thought it was like some impersonator and just deleted it.
Well, anyway,
I
good
guess
time spot on a
creepy
Tuesday.
phone calls is the discussion here on the show.
Creepy phone call.
That
We all
one time
sound
I
creepy.
called Rocket Dog is also legendary.
That is
That's
true.
the Ralph phone call. So shout out to Rocket Dog. It's an old story that I won't bore you with right now. But I hope you had a great Monday night.
Well, I think
Hope you have a great Tuesday.
I think the takeaway, Covino.
I don't even
know,
make phone calls
I know
anymore.
you need a takeaway. I know you love a lesson learned or a takeaway from a conversation.
Well,
I think
otherwise, it's just jibber jabber.
Yeah, I think the takeaway is no matter who you are, you can be the smoothest guy or the lamest guy. And out of context, as someone heard you trying to romance or talk to a woman, much like Chappelle in Half Baked, anything you say, your buddies will make fun of. We could have audio of Covino in his coolest moment, like, yo, what's up? Yo, like, we should get some drinks. He said some drinks. Like, no matter what you say, like even a great example would be Portnoy when he throws the evidence out there where it's like, yo, this girl says I was creepy. Look at all these messages of her trying to get me. And he'll be like, well, of course, I was a creep back because I was like, hey, you want to see my dick? You know, no matter what you say, you're going to look like a creep.
Yeah, that's
The
why, you respect your own privacy because anything out of context looks weird. It's like, that's what you said? It's weird. Tuesday. Oh, you ever hit that or no? What was the ending with that girl?
No, she started catching wind and she said it smelled fishy and just disappeared. She canceled, remember? We never went out.
Oh,
Do you blame-
she was
do
like,
you-
I don't want to be your
I
radio
do blame
bit.
you.
Do you blame us?
I don't want to
Yes,
be a radio
I
bit.
do.
Do you blame us as if like she could have been the one?
I don't know if she would have been the one, but she would have been the fun.
Good one.
That's your best line on the spot of all time.
So it's sports, it's entertainment, it's
Cute.
life.
She was. There was a girl that I was talking. I was talking to her for a year, like online. Like we were going back and forth. I don't know how I found her, but I did. Probably through MySpace. I think it was MySpace at the time because it was 07. And we had great banter, and it just fizzled out because she caught wind. She's like, I don't want to hang with you anymore.
I think she said she didn't want to be a radio bit. Like she didn't want to be like your silly radio bit.
Yeah.
I'm better than that.
I'm not your content.
Yeah. Stop using me for your radio bit. Bye.
You guys ruined my life.
My romance is not your content.
So anyway, that was on a Tuesday.
Well,
And
looks good.
it became legendary. Awkward phone calls.
Still single.
Takes you back to leaving messages.
because you know why? Because you were the one.
She's waiting. She's still waiting for me. I think that's the truth.
Yeah,
She's never met anyone else like me.
it's possible. There's been a few girls we met over the years that Covino and I probably are like, man, I wonder what would have happened if I actually hung with that girl. That happens to everyone. If you're in a happy spot, you don't think about it a lot, but everyone once in a while is like, hey, I wonder what that world looked like. Like the other day, you were talking about how you loved your ex, Christine, and how she was like just a big part of your life.
Kind of awkward to say, like out of context. Kind of awkward, but yeah,
I loved multiple girls I dated.
Yeah.
You didn't love a girl you dated for years?
But yeah, no, because they were insinuating how I treated her poorly, and I was saying, no, you got it twisted. I cared about her deeply.
Yeah, you said
But she was great.
You said of all your old time girlfriends,
Yeah,
like you
she
just
was,
loved
she
her.
was the best. She was such a nice person.
Yeah.
But she caught us at the worst time of our life because that's when we were in the heyday of Maxim. And she was a very wholesome person who didn't want any part of that lifestyle at all. Didn't want me and Rich gallivanting in Vegas. Didn't want me and Rich in spring break Acapulco. Like, she gave me a hard time about everything.
Honestly, she'd be perfect for you now because you're more settled down.
Another awkward comment.
Sorry.
Yeah. But she's married with
You know what
two
I mean?
kids.
Like,
Yeah, but if you
sometimes-
met her now, you'd have definitely married her.
Sometimes you meet someone at the wrong time. Like I always think that about Rich's ex, Kristen.
Yeah.
I think they met each other at the wrong time.
Yeah, she's a great woman. If we met at a different time,
They were
for
all
we know-
great.
yeah.
They were all
Like,
great.
You don't
Just-
date people for years if you don't like
timing
them.
was
wanted,
way off.
You wanted to have your fun. You wanted to enjoy life, and they wanted to settle. So that it just didn't work out
So
at the time.
I was saying, no, it was bad timing. She was not having it. She was putting me through a lot, and I was just trying to work. And
You didn't make it easy for her.
I didn't make it easy for her, right?
Neither
But
of
I was
you did.
also trying to do my job. And
Do you remember
I was
the
saying
last
how
hurrah
I
spot?
tried to make
I
it
do.
right, and I tried to make good on my promises, but by that time she had already moved on and it was too late.
last
But they were
hurrah.
trying to paint it out like I was the worst guy, and I was like, no, I cared about her a lot.
The
You
last
got it all
hurrah
wrong.
was Atlantic City.
Yeah, we had a connection with the Borgata.
And we got a
And-
hookup, but the hookup like got all weird where there wasn't enough room. So Spot and I gave Covino and his ex at the time like
And didn't we go stay at some?
like,
They
yeah.
got the dope suite.
we
at
gave you the dope
Borgata.
suite, and Spot and I stayed at like a Roach Motel just because you were in the like I'm trying to give my last ditch effort to see if there's something here.
I mean, but how does that not make sense?
Remember that.
So you and Spot should have had the dope room?
No,
We're telling the story.
But doesn't that make sense? Right?
Yeah, but we had the
if
option
you were
to
there
stay
with the girl and you were trying to save your relationship, I would have done the same thing.
But we had the option to stay at the Borgata, but we, for you, decided to go stay at a Roach Motel down the road.
Yeah, which was the right move. But like we're telling the story. We're not saying we shouldn't have. We're telling the
In
story.
retrospect, why didn't we just get another room at the Oh, because it wasn't open
It was
yet.
yeah. It was,
like
an
a soft
it was
open.
It was a soft launch. So there was we were given one suite. So we're like, Covino, save your life in marriage and your girlfriend. And we stayed at I believe the some place where the bed sheets were damp.
He doesn't see that as a nice friendly thing to do. He just sees that as why you should have done that.
You think her and I should have been in the shitty place? You and Rich should have been.
No, but
We would have
we're-
all done the same
we're just-
thing.
Yeah,
How's
we're
that,
just,
like,
we're
even
just
relevant
telling
to
the
the
story.
story?
So we're just telling the story.
The story is, it was way too late. No matter what I did at that point, she had already moved on to Chad at work, Chad at the office, some Krasinski looking guy, and she's still with him.
Now, when you think about the what ifs, it's just only a matter of you think of like, if I would have stayed with that person, that means you would have had kids earlier. I always think of those things like, what if you had kids with your high school or college sweetheart earlier than you had kids in your regular real life? You might have like teenagers and shit. There's people with little kids that are like, yeah, if I ended up with the girl I did in my 20s, for all I know, we would have got married and I would have like 2 teenagers, 3 kids, or no kids, you know?
I always keep track of these girls to
By the
see
way,
where my life would have been. Like,
It's
there's a
funny
girl.
how that's a whole conversation of perspective, by the way, because that was the last hurrah to you guys. That wasn't the last hurrah to me. That was the last hurrah to you.
Well, that was the last big.
Oh, well, to us, because
I
we
remember
saw
going to a wedding after that.
Oh, well,
talking
we
to
were.
her
Well,
dad
I'll tell you what. We
telling
were
her dad that I'm going to marry your daughter. Oh! And she was like done with me by then. So the point
we
was,
say last hurrah because
the point was, I was trying. She was done. They were painting the picture the other day that I was the worst guy ever, and I'm like, no, I was trying to be good to her, and I was trying to win this relationship back.
No,
she was already done with
we were
it.
saying last hurrah because I remember you were very like, guys, this is like a special weekend. I'm going to try to make a good impression and impress her, which is why you got the room, rightfully so. And then also I remember there was a dinner, and it was with clients and mixed company, and she was really quiet, and you were like,
She was a quiet person.
no, but then I remember you were talking to me, and you were like, yeah, bro, but in scenarios like this, like she clammed up at dinner, so is this the type of girl for me that can't like hang? Like, I
remember that.
I mean, you're like we had a conversation and a night of laughers, a night of drinks and laughs.
Laughers.
We had a night of laughers and drinks, and your ex, as great as she was, just sat there like, and you were like, bro, she's
She
great
was
and all, but I don't know in these scenarios.
kind
I
of
don't
a
know if she can.
wallflower.
I don't know if she can hang in these scenarios in my life I'm living.
She was a sweet person, but couldn't roll, couldn't hang, and hated it. She sort of hated it. Hated it.
Hated it.
But it didn't end like right there. It was a last ditch sort of attempt, but there was more to the story.
So this is a good behind the velvet rope 10 years later. Was there a moment with any girl you dated seriously through the extent of the show where there was an almost get back together or an almost something that never happened, but you never brought it up?
I don't know what you mean.
I'll give you an example. So if you've been with our show for a long, long time, and you've been with us a long, long time ago, I dated that girl, Kristen, for years. We lived together, bought a house, the whole deal.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, we broke up, sold the house, easy breezy, all good. I moved on, got an apartment in Hoboken. She moved on with her life. Now, there was a moment in time where her and I started chatting again. But I had started talking to Jen, and my ex was so disgusted by the fact that I had started talking to Jen that Kristen and I were possibly talking about like maybe we should give it another shot. And she's like, wait, who are you dating and hooking up with? I was like, nobody. And at the time, that's when Jen was in Playboy and Maxim and everything. She's like, that's the life you live now. It's over. Like,
that was a good year.
Like the last ditch effort that possibly could have happened with Kristen and I was eliminated the minute I met Sturger, because she was like, all right, I see your life now. And I was like, oh, yeah. Goodbye, farewell.
I mean, there's always
Wasn't what I feel like Jen was a point of contention at some like Maxim party, right?
Yeah, because there was like it was
just
there was a picture we took.
Right.
There was a picture we took.
Yeah, that
if
picture.
You could find that picture.
I'll find it.
There was a picture we
And
took.
his ex saw it and got all mad about it.
So my ex saw this picture and
it was
like,
me, you, Jen, the
and
other girl.
Sammy J.
There's another picture I'd love to bring up too.
What, the one of Rich's penis with the Crocs on?
No, not that one.
Oh.
Let's see.
There's always a carryover though, so it's not like I never
Carryover.
talked to Christine after we broke up.
Yeah,
because I remember
you were
her
swinging
saying,
from one ass cheek to the other. You
No,
can't
we
let
were
go.
done.
You can't let go of one ass
oh my
cheek,
God, we were done.
or you can't let go of one ass cheek until you have a firm
She
grip on the next.
knew. We fucking made a documentary. She's like, so you're dating Layla and Tara Connor now and all these other people I was dating. Remember, she was throwing that shit in my face, and we were already done. We were already done, but there was still like, we were still communicating, but she was already dating some other dude. I already tried to like get her back. So again, that's all water under the bridge.
So I just remember there was a party we went to where I was dating Kristen, but
I went on a tear. As soon as my girlfriend and Christine and I broke up, she was like the second girl I was dating in the run of the show. Long time ago.
Real long time
I went
ago.
on a tear when she didn't
Is this
want
the photo?
to.
yeah, this is a story that
I went on
this
a
is the
tear.
picture that caused so many problems.
Who's that other chick?
No, it
don't
wasn't
know.
this one. It was the next
No,
one.
this is
actually.
the one that caused.
No, it was the other one where she's like laying on you. Look at her hand first of all.
No, that was the question, because the story was, where is her hand?
Man.
And this
No,
is
it's
when
the
I
other
was,
one where she's like laying on you
Look at
practically.
Sandy J's stare.
Yeah.
he was along for
There's
the ride.
one right
huh?
next to it, Spot.
Weren't we all, Rich?
This was, again, and Jen Sturger was at the height of her popularity, one of the most popular girls on the internet at the time.
Yeah, and I remember my
And-
ex Kristen had a major problem with this picture because it was like, how was the Maxim party? And then Spot or Sammy J posted all the pictures,
Yeah.
and this picture was like, where is her hand? And
You
it
know
was
why
like,
Sammy J looks so devilish? Because he knows he's going to post that photo and ruin your life.
I know. So it turned
Yo,
into
do the other one.
it turned into a big fight of where is her hand, and then a year and a half later when Kristen and I break up. So follow the theory though.
hold on.
No,
Yeah,
follow
it
the
was this
theory.
one. Watch
This has got to be
Yeah.
it.
Oh, that was the one.
Yeah.
That was the one.
See? I remember.
What happened to you, Covino?
I lost my hair for a minute.
What happened?
That's Eric Gillian, I believe, from Maxim magazine.
So
Is
yeah,
that his name?
so this picture
Why is Sammy so creepy?
turned into
Is this the girl that Sammy J Went down to get a beeger from?
no.
By the way,
So anyway,
that face you're making is photoshopped in so many different.
Oh yeah,
That's
it
the
is.
original Photoshop face, right? Because I know that expression you're making, and it's in so many different photos. But that's the original photo.
I'm just trying to finish the quick story to make sense of it. So that picture
Transported.
That picture was taken while I was dating Kristen, and we had met a handful of different men and women and everyone at parties. But that picture in particular was a nightmare for me because it's like, where's her hand? Who's that? Why is she hanging on you? All that
But
was
you
the
guys
big,
were done.
No, but no.
Right? Oh, you weren't done?
No. That was while we were in a relationship. Fast forward a year and a half, 2 years or whatever, and Kristen and I break up, and then we start talking about like, maybe we should give it another shot. Are you dating anyone now? And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, I literally just started seeing someone. And she's like, who? And I'm like, well, like, remember the girl you thought I was hooking up with back in the day, but I wasn't? Oh, it happens to be her. And that was like all she needed to be like, all right.
No, my relationships were pretty much done when they were
times.
done. And I tried to save them all, but again,
Good
it was
times.
way too late. I have the same story every time. It's like Groundhog's Day. I tried to save every relationship, but they were done with me months before I had realized it was time to try to save it. So I could never save it. Of course, communication maybe continued, or we talked a little bit here and there, but it was done.
Yeah.
But I do have one story, and you brought up Christine. For reference, she was the Italian girl I dated for like 3 years.
Italian.
She got that Italian
She had blue eyes, blue eye Italian. She had that Italian body.
Her father used to say, "Hey, bring it in,
He used to grab the back of your neck
Okay.
with like a hook.
Hey,
come here, bring it in.
Bring it, get a
When
Gabago.
we broke up, you know, I said I went on a tear. I did. I went on a tear. I was dating like 4 people at once. But again, I was a single guy. I was not committed to anybody at that point.
Wow, how'd you find 4 people so quickly?
I mean, dude, you say that like, I don't know, how could you not have? We knew so many girls at the time.
Yeah.
That's on you.
That's on you.
I mean, I knew people.
Just saying.
So I'm like, all right, well, now's the time to cash in. So
Right.
I went on a tear, but started getting closer and closer to Layla, right? Who I had met a year before and like sort of fell for. I was like, oh man, this Layla girl's different. She was as opposite of everything that I had ever known, right? So that's why it stood out. So started getting closer and closer to Layla.
You described your ex as kind and sweet, right?
4 months into the relationship, same thing happened to me. So I'm dating, and Layla knows we're not committed at all. But she sees pictures of me at a party with like other girls and flips out. She's like, "Who are those girls you're with?" And I'm like, "They're just girls at our Swallow Schween party."
Yeah.
Right?
Sometimes pictures would get you in more trouble. Here's the thing.
And by the way, they were just girls we were like taking photos with, hot girls that were at our party. Nothing that I was advertising like, yeah, hooking up with this chick. Not at all.
I think,
but the point of my story here was, although I wasn't committed, those pictures really triggered something. And all of a sudden I saw a side to her that I had never seen before. And instead of running the opposite direction,
which would have been wise,
which would have been the smart thing to do, I
you
was
leaned
like,
in.
Whoa.
Let's get married.
Hold on. I didn't know you felt this way, and something like that would bother you. I guess I'm gonna go this way to show you how much I care. Like I responded opposite. You know what I mean? Like she went. When I tell you like the craziest I ever heard anyone,
she did one of the
like,
typical.
How dare you?
Your ex. How
dare I what?
Your ex was one of the typical like.
So-
I'm so cool. I don't care what anyone does.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
like
that's true.
hang with the girls, hang with the guys. I'm cool. And then it's like when it comes down to it,
True.
are you cool?
True. So what happened was,
I don't think that's not a part of something. It's part of a ploy.
yeah. So what
ploy.
happened then was, and that was 4 months. So 4 months I'm single
By the way, was
and I'm dating.
it this photo that really triggered her? The one of you with Constantine
It
Powers?
was non-specific. It was just a bunch. It was pictures of us hanging out.
girl? Who is
Babe, it's not a girl. It's Constantine.
Why are you looking at her like that?
You guys are staring at it. You
Why
guys
are you
staring at each other.
Stop it.
It's not a woman.
If you're gonna talk to somebody, at least let it be Bo Bice. Sorry. So instead of saying, "Wow, man, like this girl just shit on me like I've never been shit on before,"
Oh, let me chase her.
I'm like, "Yo, I'm so sorry." Like that, you know, I'm into you. I'm just here hanging out. I didn't know we were anything yet, and that's when the relationship went forward. That was my story. That was the end of it. So then, 4 months into dating, all those other girls fizzled out, and then I moved forward with that relationship.
A little reminiscing, all based on Spot's.
And then 10 years of that.
A little reminiscing, all based off of Spot's Tuesday phone call on the most popular Tuesday ever, 2/22/22.
Speaking of awkward phone
on a
calls,
Tuesday.
I had never been shit on in my life by anybody.
It's an
worse
experience,
than
trust
that.
me.
Now, I was 4 months into the relationship, and I was like, holy fuck.
Did you use saran wrap?
For what?
You got shit on.
Yes, it was a hot lunch.
Hold on.
That I'll never forget.
Spot. One.
Yes. All right, there you go. So anyway, that doesn't really answer Rich's question, but I do remember, that causing a big time issue.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it wrong to like periodically check up on these random girls that have passed through your life?
Yeah.
Because I do it all the time.
What do you mean?
Not all the time, but like every.
nothing wrong with it. Meaning, like if you're saying like, oh, the girl I dated in college.
Oh,
Let me
no.
look at on Facebook.
Yeah,
Oh, there she is with her kids at Six Flags. Like
No,
you
you
can't
can't
avoid
avoid
That's
it. I
normal
see it all the
behavior.
time.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying like if every day you're like, let's see what
No,
she's up
like
to.
like Tuesday, like Tuesday girl.
different. Yeah.
Tuesday girl every so often will pop up on my feed, and I'm like, oh, let me see what she's been up to. See her photos.
No,
Oh, she still looks good. There's another girl that I never pulled the trigger on. I'm like, oh, she has a family with kids. That could have been
I think
me.
that's just the world we live in, and it's unavoidable.
No,
at
it's
this
not.
point.
It's not weird at all, Spot. I mean, you look on your social media, and a lot of times you're friends with these people because if you dated them
If you
like
dated
10,
them anytime
20 years ago, then
anytime after 2007, 8, you would probably be Facebook friends.
yeah. So I mean, if you're social media friends and then you broke up and you stayed friends, yeah, there's a girl that I hooked up with for a quick minute, and I see like her and her kids all the time on Facebook. There's other people who, yeah, no, dude, it's
Jordan just hit me up, said I'm gross. I said, why? And she goes, dating 4 girls at once. I was like, I was completely single. I was not committed to anybody.
Yeah.
I was complete. It was the only time I was only single, like maybe collectively, I went a whole year completely single after a divorce, maybe like a year and a half in the 17 years of the show.
Oh, wasn't that around the time when you were telling girls your line was like, I hope you're keto because all I got is this sausage?
Yeah.
Is that was his
That was
line?
my line.
Jordan doesn't know
invented-
that line.
So
He
in the
invented keto, by
17
the way.
years of the
With that
show,
line.
Yeah.
I've probably only been single for about a year and a half.
You're gross, bro.
Maybe a little more than that.
You're
Yeah.
adding time to it.
No,
You just
and
said a
when I
year.
s-
Now it's a year and a half.
Maybe a little more than that.
Yeah.
A little year and a half. Maybe a little year and 7 months. I don't know.
until he met Jordan.
That was a year.
Until he
Oh,
met Jordan.
right.
That was
Yeah.
a full on year.
Yeah,
We're
That
talking.
span.
Yeah.
And then, in between everything else, is probably like a 6-7 month period of ever being single. So,
But when you
in
say
those single
single,
times,
when you
meaning
say
I had
single-
no committed girlfriend.
Right, you
So
meant-
if
that's
I'm
why
going
I
out
want
to
to be
dinner
clear.
and hanging out with somebody,
I want to be clear. Commitment means single.
why
because-
wouldn't I be going out on dinners and hanging out with other people? Doesn't mean I
course.
was like banging them all on the same night or anything like that.
That would be nice, right?
Jordan, you
but-
banged them all on the same night.
No.
4 in one night.
Remember that
believe it.
night you did the Barney Stinson perfect week, and you're like 7 girls in 7 days. You're like, yeah,
Is that really something he did on the show?
oh yeah.
That's called the perfect week. That
But
would
then he did
never fly
the
today.
perfect month. 31 girls, 31 days, and that's how Barney became a dad at the end of at the season finale.
That
It was
would
like
never
girl
fly
30. He
today.
got girl 31 pregnant.
And that's why it sounds weird saying I was dating 4 girls at once. If you're talking to 4 girls,
But this was one of the girls.
yeah, one of them was Konstantin Maroulis, former American Idol.
By the way, his perfect month, Jim Nance narrated it.
That's funny, man. I didn't know that.
How I Met Your Mother.
So
Great show.
anyway, yeah, I mean, I was completely single, not committed at all until, as the story goes, Layla got mad because she saw me at a party in some pictures, and then I dedicated myself to her. That's the story.
Kevin brings up a good point. We're talking about dating, and Spot's asking about the intricacies of what is dating. Kevin brings up a good point. On dating shows like Love is Blind or The Bachelor, and they're like, I'm dating 15 people at once. Do you consider that dating? Yeah, I don't think you're dating someone unless you're making out and touching each other. And like actually emotionally bonding as well.
Yeah.
Like, unless you're getting to know someone and hooking up, that's dating. I don't think it's dating if you met for a cup of coffee 2 times and just chatted. I think you need to have made out. You need to kiss the person and have conversations about getting to know each other because there's an intent to date.
Yeah,
I don't think it's like, hey, I met this girl for coffee. We're dating. No, you're not dating.
I agree. Kevin Cedarholm was up.
It's weird when they say that. I agree.
Dexter says, what's wrong with dating multiple people at once? No one was in a commitment.
That doesn't last long. That doesn't last long,
It
Dexter.
didn't. And then all the rest faded away. And
No.
I was with the same person for the next 10 years.
Want me to tell you why?
So you could judge all you want.
Want me to tell you why it doesn't last long? Because if you're dating multiple women at once, eventually you will want to spend
someone-
more time with one of them. Or one of the girls that you're just hooking up with that you're, quote, dating will end up finding a guy that takes her more serious and she'll be like, yo, beat it because I found the guy that wants just me.
And
like
for the record,
it doesn't last
I
forever.
did like Layla the best. I did.
It doesn't
I
last-
really did. So
it
it's
doesn't
not
last
like
forever.
I was sort of manipulated into pursuing that. She's the one I liked the best. The rest I was just like killing time with. She lived in LA and I was in New Jersey. I was in New York just trying to stay occupied.
Dating-
I was heartbroken over the previous girl.
Dating and being in a relationship, different terms.
Yeah.
Being in a relationship means like, yo, it's going to end one of 2 ways, marriage or a terrible breakup. That's a relationship. If you're in a relationship, one of 2 things is going to happen. Miserable breakup or you get married. Dating, that could sort of fizzle. Like, yeah, I'm really busy at work. Yeah, I'm dropped up to we'll chat soon, and you just sort of fade. If you're in a relationship, marriage or sad breakup, that's the difference.
I'm going to lean into that 2000s double standard, though, and let you know that I was slaying it for those few months.
I saw a meme that was politically incorrect for 2022. I saw a great meme that was politically...
man, I was on a roll, dude.
It was, it's
like, yeah, baby.
Covino, it's politically incorrect for nowadays, but I saw a really interesting thing about the whole, the old eye rolling, like, if a girl dates a lot of guys, she's a slut. If a guy does it, he's a stud. And there's the whole analogy of like, well, one master key opens all the locks and one lock that every key opens. That's all the dumb analogies you've heard a million times, right?
About men being studs,
stud,
women being hoes.
The whole, double standard of stud versus slut. Mm-hmm. And it's wrong. We've talked about this.
It's not wrong because I was a stud back then.
However, I saw some girl.
I was lead singer of Slayer.
I saw some girl on TikTok dispute this, and she said, no, it is true. She goes, people that are trying to make it seem like women empowerment, there's no such thing, there's no difference. She's saying it's very easy for a girl to sleep around. It's not as easy for a guy to sleep around. She's like, an unattractive woman could sleep with a different guy every night. An unattractive guy will sleep with no one. So it's still, because there's ease in a woman getting her sexual needs matched if she wants them, it does create, it's not the same. I'm not saying it's wrong for a woman to explore herself sexually. We're just saying it's not equally easy, Covino. Like pick a regular guy and a regular girl and they go out and they just want to have fun. An average girl on any given night has her pick of who she could go home with. And that's an average girl. An average guy has to get lucky to find a woman that would want to get with him. So it is a double standard, but for a reason. All right. I
agree.
Dating multiple women requires work, and it's pricey too. That's from John ZL. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all on us.
So a little reminiscing. Any other deep thoughts from the past before we get to current day? Because I want to vent about some shit.
JC in Kentucky said, and to think that my infatuation with Layla all started with a picture of her ironing on MySpace, which is true. Like, because she led with, this domesticated sort of approach. Like, look at me ironing and, and
wow.
Yes. It's funny.
I mean, not that she doesn't do things like that. I'm just saying, like, it wasn't the image I had. So it's crazy how things unfurl.
She really appealed to your chauvinistic ways.
No, it just was like a sweet photo. Like, oh, she's ironing.
Yeah, go Hawaiians finally.
She's gonna cook and clean.
She's gonna cook and clean and do my laundry.
Greg hit us up and he said, guys are thirsty creatures by nature. Guys are going to go out and guys will be like, I want to just get with someone. Well, women have the ability to be choosy and picky more so than a man.
Yeah, you have to realize that when Rich describes these stories, I'm really heartbroken. That's the truth. And I'm just trying to keep my mind occupied and trying to get out of that sort of mindset of misery. So I'm going to go out with whoever is willing to hang at that time. Got to be on the prowl. I can't sit around and be miserable. I did plenty of that. Trust me. My parents will tell you how fucking miserable I was every time I lived that nightmare over and over again. It felt like a nightmare. Oh, man, I'm going through this again. It was like a nightmare. This reoccurring nightmare. This girl left me for some other dude. Now I'm going to have to get out there and try to keep my mind occupied. So, or else I would have been miserable. I could have been in a downward spiral if it wasn't for those slump busters, or whatever you want to call them.
Do you remember the minute you made it official with Kristen?
The minute?
Not the minute, but you know what I mean.
I had this conversation. Do you remember just with Jordan?
I mean, I feel like because we had a history, we knew each other. I feel like our first date was pretty much it.
No, but after the first date, you looked at each other like, we're exclusive now. Did you ever have the conversation, or was it more of a,
just kind of
we're hanging out, and I'm assuming you're not hooking up with anyone else?
I always say that she was like seeing a couple other dudes, and I beat them out, which I always felt so proud about. I would argue.
And there's no harm in that spot, but I'm saying, when was the point where you knew there was no other dudes in the mix?
I don't remember.
I heard DJ Khaled was in the mix.
Was it like November?
Because you openly talk about how when you first started dating your wife, she'd hang out with you, and the next day she'd be, going to like Brooklyn to meet some dude, or going to the city to meet some other guy. Like,
what was tricky was that 3 months later she broke her leg, so that was a problem. In like October, November, she broke her leg.
Do you look back now and admit how you weren't the most sensitive with that?
Yes, but I was also like working and couldn't leave work. But I guess I could have.
Sometimes things just progress. Like Jordan said, we were watching a stupid fucking Love is Blind show, and she goes, "You never asked me to be your girlfriend," because one of the guys asks, "Will you be my girlfriend?" She's like, "Did you?" I'm like, "Well, how do you not know?" I'm like, "No, I don't think I did. I think it just happened."
Eventually you just.
There wasn't a defining moment where like, "You're mine now."
But were you hanging out with Jordan at one point where it was like, I guess it's just us now, Jordan?
I just think we knew. And,
I feel like
and that was it.
When primetime nights are automatically assumed, like you're going out on like a Friday or a Saturday night without having to ask. I think that's when you just know that you're like dating.
Sarah, come here. When did you know that we were like boyfriend and girlfriend? Because we were traveling long distance. Is that automatic? If you're dating someone long distance, are you assuming like if we're going through all this effort, like there's no one else?
I think, you know what it is? It is that gradual progression. And I think like whenever you guys, you sit and look at each other and realize like, oh shit, like we're together. Then you kind of like come up with a good anniversary date, which is what we did.
Yeah, but not only that, I'm just saying though,
you start hanging out every day. I think that's what it is.
Every day?
No, you do. You start seeing each other mostly every day.
It went from like Jordan, my most recent obvious relationship. It went from we hung out a few times, and then next thing you know, we were hanging out in multiple days in a row. And then I remember Rich saying, "Man, you guys been hanging out a lot lately." I'm like, "Yeah." And then that's it.
I don't think most people do every day. I think a few times. I feel like it's like the prime times at first.
Did you have to call
That's what I'm saying. After the one weekend here, another weekend here, when it becomes consecutive, now you're hanging out in consecutive days because you just really want to be with that person.
You know how you know also? You know how you know also? Have you ever had to tell a girl like, yeah, like I'm dating someone now? Like some rando hit you up and you're like,
no.
Like, what, you want to get a drink or something? And you're like,
yes.
Like, oh, yeah, like I have a girlfriend now. I can't. I probably shouldn't. I'm dating someone now. Did you have to tell any dudes like your crazy ex? Did you have to be like, I'm with someone new?
No, that was like a no contact thing. But yeah, for other dudes, yes, I did tell them I was dating you or I was dating someone. So yes,
that sounds ominous.
Yeah, I guess
truthfully, I had to do that for my Layla relationship.
Beat it, Sarah.
No,
in the Jordan relationship, it all sort of
found its way.
No, they all honestly, it was all like timing. The other people had moved on. Then I was dating like before I met her, so it was like a timing thing that just worked out, truthfully. And then I think you stopped communicating. I had nothing serious going on.
Oh, yeah, was this it, Rich? The moment when you reached over and ate Sarah's burger at that place in Hoboken?
Whoa! Oh, at the burger place.
Not her rear burger. Rich.
Yeah, that was the moment.
I did have to call one.
You knew you
girl.
were comfortable enough.
And
I remember this. You don't have to tell the details, but I remember Covino calling one girl and having to have the awkward, like, listen, you can't text me anymore. Yeah. It's going to cause problems. Yeah, didn't that girl like reject that at first? Like, no, I'll fucking text you when I want. And you're like, oh, no.
And then that girl caused me more problems. That was a nightmare. Oh, I remember. Yeah, so that was.
You did the whole
again, this is like over.
By the way,
15 years ago.
Covino tried to do a very sweet, like, yo, I'm dating someone now. You really can't be texting me. And instead of the girl being like, okay, I respect that, she's like, I don't respect that. I'll text you when I want, essentially.
Pretty much.
Damn.
That is what happened there.
She was a little wackadoodle, huh?
Yep.
I remember that girl. Man, memories.
My
book is going to be fire someday.
I would take Spot out on my shenanigans.
I remember that.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, there's this girl. Like, I really don't know that. You want to come for like drinks?
We always went to what's that bar?
The Piggly Wiggly.
The Piggly Wiggly, yeah. No, the Pig and Whistle.
I know.
We always went
there. The joke
there.
was the Piggly Wiggly.
God.
The Pig and Whistle.
Man.
I'm like, Spot, this weird girl. You want to come with me? He said, sure.
I guess. I got nothing else to do.
Yeah, we'd go and have drinks. But Spot would be a good gauge. Like, yeah, like Spot, because Spot was like, would be a charming middle person.
Yeah.
And then sometimes there would be girls like, we didn't even know what the deal was. We would just be eating with girls.
Wes in Idaho, who's now Wes in Vegas, him and Bree, who just built their first home. Congratulations. I saw that on social media. Congratulations.
Congrats, guys.
Wes hit us up saying, when you spend every weekend together automatically, and here's the thing, if you have to tell that person, I have something else doing this weekend because the assumption is we're going to spend time together, it's your girlfriend or boyfriend.
Yeah, I don't think I had a moment where I was like, you're my girlfriend now. I don't think I had that.
You're my girl.
But you're my girl.
There's a lot of relationship vibe in the air. Well, we started our show with Spot's awkward phone call with Tuesday Girl.
Man,
this
that
Tuesday.
really triggered some memories,
Yeah,
huh?
but, you know, Bachelor was last night. Love is Blind is really something that is mind-boggling on Netflix. I watched 2 episodes of that yesterday, and the show is just so fucking wild. Giovanni, what's up? So, Kevin, what's up? P10, Lisa, Greg. So, it is on the mind. You start reminiscing about all these random things, and, you know, honestly, I forget.
I knew that.
I forget how a lot of things transition because I want to forget. Those aren't fun times in my life. Those are painful times of growth or something. You know, those are not fun times. I felt like I was living a nightmare. I really did. Because every one of those relationships I had meant a lot to me, and they were long term. They were like 3 to 5 years, each one of them. And I'm on like my 6th. So, yeah, I might be the problem. But those are tough times. And the only way to get through them is, again, moving forward and meeting new people and finding that sort of spark again.
I swear I just heard, like, from afar, like Jordan yelling at the radio. Like, yes, he's the problem.
Yeah.
He's the problem.
Well, the problem was in all those relationships is I wouldn't commit when they wanted me to. So it wasn't like I did anything wrong. Yeah. It wasn't like, I mean, everyone knew my quirks. He's a self-centered idiot. Okay, fine. I own that. No, but the problems were I wasn't willing to commit when they wanted me to. I was way too young.
But here's the question, though.
What a problem.
The question is...
No, meaning marriage, bro. No, I wasn't ready for marriage.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is...
No one was.
But the thing is that...
I was way not
Is that
ready
something...
for that.
Is that something, knowing your personality type?
Yeah.
Take away your ex, take away Jordan, take away anyone. Are you the type of person to make a decision unless you're forced into it anyway? Doesn't seem like your personality. You're the type of guy that waits for something to happen, then you're like, I'll roll with it.
No. I mean, I prefer
like a proactive decision.
But no, yeah. I told you I was ready, but too late every time.
No, but that's the thing. Too late because because it had come and gone, and then afterwards you're like, it's like a girl being like, "Want to go?" It's like a high school girl being like, "You want to go steady and you want to be my girlfriend? You want to be my boyfriend?" And you're like, "I don't know."
14, so yeah, I'm capable.
I don't know. And then she's like, "All right, fine. I'm gonna see other people." And you're like, "No, be my girlfriend." Like, there's a difference between being proactive and reactive, and I feel like a lot of your decisions are reactive.
There was a few reactive scenarios,
I would argue you're there again.
Reactive, not proactive. There's a difference.
Keep that in mind.
There's a difference between proactive and reactive. It's not like one's always better than the other, but there's 2 types of reactions: a proactive and reactive. Like
there's an opposite octave reaction.
Yeah,
according to Scott Weiland.
Whoa.
So
you could say some people are too proactive. Some people.
I've been in all of the above scenarios. I mean, and in the earlier stages of those relationships, I was entirely too young for that type of commitment. And I don't regret any of my choices. You know, I wasn't ready to get married at like 20 something ever. I wasn't ready at 30 something. So I don't regret it. And that relationship you brought up with Christine, I was with her for 3 years. I did not feel ready for any sort of marriage at all.
And if you're not ready if you knew after 3 years, like, yeah, I'm not going to marry this girl, then
I knew I didn't want to lose her.
You're never
going to
get married. If after 3 years,
I was too young, dude. I would never recommend that for anybody. My brother's 28. I would never recommend him getting married. Again, everybody's different. I'm immature as a 45-year-old.
That's true.
Imagine how I was at 28. So you could pass judgment all you want and make your own conclusions. I know I was not ready for that shit. So yeah, I cared about them. Yeah,
Matt hit us up and he goes, "This is funny. Try getting married at 22 and thinking the opposite. Not the what ifs I ended up with those girls. The what ifs of what if I didn't end up with the high school sweetheart and I actually dated. Like it's the what ifs are the reverse. Get it? If you got married at 22, your what ifs aren't. I wonder what would have happened if I married my college sweetheart. Oh, I wonder what would have happened if I married that girl I dated in my 20s. His what ifs are, what if I didn't marry my high school sweetheart? What booty would I have gotten?
The grass is always greener is not a great thing because you think it's fun and you think you could have just been poking hoes left and right, but the dating scene is just so scary.
I think everything happens the way it's supposed to happen. I really believe
Not
that.
all sunshine and rainbows for everybody, especially in today's day and age. I would never want to go back into the dating pool today. As
Someone pooped in that dating pool.
Right?
There's a log in that pool.
As studly as I am,
dude,
the prospect of that
someone
scares the
someone
Jesus
peed
out
in
of
that
me.
pool.
For,
Yeah, they
for
It was like
that
that-
guy who questions,
was
if
the
I
hot
had
tub where the
never
girl got
broke up
diarrhea.
with that girl, I would have never went on to the next girl who I cared about. If I never broke up with that girl, I would have never went on to the next girl who I really cared about and learned a lot from and grew from, and so on and so on.
Well,
I think it all happens for a reason.
Look at it
Sound like
this way.
that
I
Ariana
don't
Grande
regret
song.
that.
Look
No,
at it
but
from
it's
the-
true.
look at-
I don't regret any of that.
Thank
if
you,
we
next.
never lost
There it
our
is.
job on ESPN and Sirius XM, we would have never done this and worked at Fox Sports Radio.
No, of course.
Things
Okay, like,
happen.
if you
doors
never-
close, you move on, you move forward.
If you never dated your ex, we would never have lived in Los Angeles. So you could say that like a cool part, like a whole chapter of all of our lives are like Los Angeles, right?
I think we would have found our way here.
No way in the world. I wouldn't have moved here without a catalyst, right? You need a catalyst for things, and the catalyst was Covino had a kid here, and his ex-wife was here, so it was like there was already groundwork here, right? There's already groundwork here, so
Rich and I used to talk about living in LA prior to that.
Take yourself back to 2015.
We
I
go
think,
to the
I think you would
gym
have
all the
found
time
yourself
talking
back.
about how we loved going to LA and we loved the possible opportunity. Sirius XM ended up opening up a headquarters.
Right.
out
We
here.
were at a crossroads, and I think
It helped,
I
but-
think it helped, but I think we would have wound up here.
Yeah.
you think so?
I do.
think so.
I
think
do.
so.
I feel like we were all kind of up in the air. Your wife was miserable in New York.
Yeah, she didn't love living in New York. I do wonder. That's interesting.
I think. I mean, I think we would have gotten here. Maybe not when we did, but at some point.
Maybe later.
Maybe like a year or two later. But
Es posible.
You know what I wonder? I wonder
who wrote the Book of Love?
if my kid will ever really absorb and understand that her dad
No.
is out here pretty much for the rest of his life away from the rest of my family for her little spoiled ass.
For 5 more years.
No. What am I going to do? Fucking move back to New York?
What if she goes to like college? What if your daughter?
I'm stuck here.
No, but I'm saying your
I
daughter.
still think I'm stuck here.
Your daughter.
I think she'll stay in California.
If Melody said,
but she could
Dad,
possibly
I'm going.
go,
If
I'm going to university, Dad.
yeah, what if she goes to fucking London? Or what
I mean,
if Melody?
She's a dual citizen.
What
It's
if
possible.
Melody said, Dad, I applied to NYU, and she's like an artsy student at NYU, and your daughter's living in New York. You're gonna stay out here?
Wouldn't that be the poetic sort of irony here? I could see that happening
Yeah,
easily.
I
like
mean-
now she's in New York and I'm in LA. Like what the fuck? But everything, as Fred Durst says,
Everything happens for a reason.
everything happens for a reason. So again, I don't beat myself up about that stuff.
Wait, hold
Those
on.
heartbreaks were real, but they led me to greater things, and I became a better person every step of the way. And I got more successful every step of the way. That's how I look at it. So those heartbreaks sucked, but
You-
they led to fortune and glory.
Right. You learned from the error of your ways. You learned from your mistakes. You gained knowledge and you moved on.
I don't know about that.
You carried it with you into the next situation.
I used it as motivation. I can tell you that. So, Lisa, you're right. Melody's creative. She might end up anywhere.
By the way,
I actually talked to her about it. We went for a little hike spot. Pull up that picture I sent you of Melody and I this weekend. I'm still on my fitness mission.
is that how you work out?
Yeah. Well, I shadow box.
Like Jim Carrey and Me, Myself, and Irene?
Yeah. Went on a hike, and therapists will tell you if you want to connect with somebody,
Yeah.
go for a walk. That's where we ended up. Little hike. She's throwing up the peace sign. And I said, Melody, what do you think?
nice
Think
of
you'll always live in California? Because we're looking out at the valley. I said, can all be yours, honey.
Did you
Do
use
and be
my
whatever
line?
you want. Yeah.
Where it's like, this is like mashed potatoes and you put a mound in it. What are you going to fill it with?
Could all be
Gravy,
yours.
corn.
So do you think you'll always live in California? She's like, yeah, I think so. I mean, she's only 12.
Yeah, what is she gonna say? I'm
But
gonna.
she's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I think so.
You have no clue. I
So
never
I'm
thought.
like,
I
all
never
right,
thought I
well,
would.
I hope so because I'm only here because of you, really, at this point. I mean, it's
No.
home now, but
People have.
why I was here.
I feel like the younger generation has that wanderlust.
More so than other
More
generations.
so.
Every generation's a little more Wanderlust.
Just because they have visual access through social media just to see everything in other places and
Yeah.
people traveling and van life and all that garbage.
I think about living out here for the next 10 plus years or so.
Oh, we're down to like what? 8 months now on your 2-year countdown that you created like a year and a half ago?
Check out my gift from the hair gods. Not to
Yo,
distract you.
I thought when I switched to your
Look at
camera, I'm
that.
like, did I accidentally start playing the Elvis trailer?
Man, it's like, well, there's a 1 for the money, 2
Between
for
that-
the show, 3 to get ready now. Go. Is it Go Cat Go?
Yeah, go.
Go Cat Go now, don't you? Look at this.
Between that jacket and that little hair flop?
Yeah, maybe I'm ahead of the
Like, is
trend.
this
There's
Austin
gonna be a
Butler?
whole. There's gonna be a whole Elvis sort of.
God,
You're very
Rebirth.
Elvis today.
Well, you can do anything.
I'm in Vegas.
So anyway, sorry.
I'll say it.
My hair is flopping over. I didn't
Uh-huh.
realize that. I had a gift from the hair gods today. You know, I am a direct descendant of the people of Pompeii.
Oh.
Yes.
So relationships, they ain't easy. Simping ain't easy.
Yo.
Pimping ain't easy.
No.
But, you know, it takes you to where you are right now. And to me, I wouldn't, honestly, I know that sounds crazy, guys. I wouldn't have it any other way. I really wouldn't.
Now, there's a big time benefit of living somewhere in your younger years that's super expensive. Because what happens is you get used to a overpriced lifestyle, and especially if you own a home or a condo.
How do you afford your rock and roll lifestyle?
So
What
what'll
song
happen?
Spot by Cake?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
I do. No, I
Spot
don't.
loves cake. How do you know? Back in the day, Spot loved cake.
It's called rock and roll lifestyle. It's like, how do you afford your
No, but
rock and roll
there'll,
lifestyle?
there'll be a time if you live your earning years in an expensive place to live, your retirement comes a little easier. So there's going to come a time where, 10, 20 years down the line where you're like, yeah, I want to settle down more and live a simpler life when you're like, you can still work, but you could live a simpler life somewhere. And if you've lived expensive, everything seems like a downgrade or a deal, right? Think about it. You're never going to live in a more expensive place than here, unless all of a sudden you decide to live in the Bay Area. Unless you say you want a condo in New York City, in Manhattan, you're never going to live in a more expensive place.
Maldives.
So everywhere you go will be like that's a deal. That's the only benefit of living in an expensive place and managing it.
Right.
Knowing that anywhere you go other than here, like
I
imagine
feel that way about everything in life. I'll never work for a bigger pain in the dick than my first real boss in radio. I'll never date
not alone in that
anyone more
sentiment.
difficult, or I'll never be in a relationship more difficult than my previous relationship.
Ain't that the truth?
So that's good.
Never say never on that.
I won't. And I'll never live somewhere more expensive than I do right now. So yeah, life gets easier. You
Yeah,
learn
so what I'm
lessons.
saying is if the difficulties or the high price stuff is early on, later on in life, if you were to say when you're
I just
60,
hope I'm never fatter than I was in 2009.
Let's say when
That's
you're-
the only
yeah.
thing you can hope
when
for.
when you're 65, Covino.
That's
let's
the
say
only thing you can hope for.
let's say in 20 years from now,
Man.
when you're in your 60s, and you say, God willing, you're healthy and happy, and you
That's 15 years.
Hope you're never fatter than
You're-
you were at Henry Winkler's table.
Yeah, exactly.
if in 20 years you hit 65, and you say, hey, you know what? I still want to work. I'll still do some radio or TV or streaming or whatever. I'll be old. I'll be old guy broadcaster. But if in 20 years from now you say, you know what? By then you'll have almost paid off your place. Think of how much it'll be worth. So you could cash that plus your 401k plus your other investments. You'll be sitting in a nice spot. And that's the only benefit of living in an expensive place now. Because if you, God willing, live a longer life, the final quarter of your life will be easier. It's like people that live in New York or LA and then say, I'm going to move down to Florida or go to Idaho or go to Texas. Like, you just live in a simpler, nicer life. But then again, as Sarah always points out, you never know where you're going to end up because where your kids are at, maybe where you end up going.
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I don't see my parents moving for any of their kids.
Oh, but I feel like
Different generation.
But I feel like Sarah and I are like, well, what if Emmy and Ben both move to the East Coast or to the South? Like, we're not going to be here by
both
ourselves.
moving together.
No, but I'm saying, let's say they both happen to be in the same region.
Well, if that's the case, yeah. But
if your kids stay here, you want to stay here. But if, let's say one of my kids
things you can't plan for.
Let's say Ben lives in New York and Emmy lives in Boston. Am I going to live in LA? No way. I'm not going to stay here if my kids are on the other side of the country. All things that you have to worry about 20 years from now, but just throwing it out there. I've already told my kids I'm moving, so plan accordingly. That's from Matt. All right, hey, let's get into where we left off yesterday. It was good reminiscing on a Tuesday. Good throwbacks, all based on Spot's Tuesday phone call.
Yeah. Conversations leave me feeling like a awkward type of way, though.
Why? You just said you're happy. You're happy how it all turned out. So why would it leave you awkward?
I just don't like revisiting a lot of that all the time. It's like, ugh.
Well, what I think is weird is not you not liking revisiting. I think it's weird to think when we were younger, when someone said 10 or 20 years ago.
My asshole. Something you said maybe, I don't know. Something
I said?
Me. I don't know. Something annoyed me about it.
He said something itched his butthole, but he
something
doesn't know
itched my butthole. I can't put my finger on it, so you're off the hook.
I said nothing. I said nothing that could itch your butthole.
Something itched my ass about the conversation. But I meant every word I said. I'm going to go get some water.
Hey, Spot, actually, can you sit here 1 second? I have to check. It's a rarity. I have to check on something very important. Sure. I'll be right back. Give me 30 seconds. Sure. Sit with Cove for a second.
Well, it's 1 for the money. Hey. 2 for the show. 3 to get ready. Now go, cat, go, and don't you step on my Yeezy shoes.
Rich just keeps up texts from Rocket Dog the whole show?
Yeah, that's his fucking joke writer.
Look.
His joke writers are Drew Mack.
That's all it is.
Drew Mack, Mauser, and
he like
Rocket
has
Dog.
them. It's like rather than have a regular like our text message line, he just
steals people's
the
jokes all
conversation
day.
with him.
He's a joke stealer.
And Rocket Dog.
Yeah. Well, anyway, last night, after watching all these relationship-based shows, which can't help you, think of these things, I can't stop, won't stop. In fact, like Rob Zombie, never going to stop. Creating new playlists. I got my Spotify back. I got to tell you, Jordan has given me some great gifts in my day.
Since Rich isn't here, not that I'm mocking him, but like I feel like he's hypersensitive when we mention Spotify because they are a competitor to SiriusXM. But Spotify.
Well, I never said that. But Spot, if I can make a playlist.
Spotify, I have to say.
If I have time to kill.
It's not about the access to music. Like SiriusXM has great content, great curated content. Love their channels. But Spotify gives you access to millions and millions of songs to make your own playlists. And let me tell you, it has been a godsend to just like, whatever your mood is, you can just pull something up or create something or
let me tell you, like I said, Jordan, she is not only a blessing who came after all of this roller coaster of life into my world. She's given me some good gifts. One of them is this Apple Watch you see here.
I love it.
Which I change the bands on all the time because I pay attention to detail. Do you? The other day, she gave me a subscription to make playlists. I was like, cool. But it was opening up a time capsule because I hadn't opened this up in a long time. So I had like melody playlists from when she was a little kid.
Oh,
like all
nice.
Disney songs and everything.
Nice.
Playlists from my previous relationship. Delete. And then like all my other legendary playlists that I sort of left there years ago that I haven't looked at. Falsetto tunes. Classic. Falsetto tunes. It's all my favorite falsetto jams in one magical playlist that I made.
Any newer people on it, like Charlie Puth? Any new like Adam Levine's got some
Adam
falsetto
Levine's on there, bro? Of course. Let's see what the shuffle brings. Ready?
The falsetto tunes.
Falsetto tunes. Let's see.
Don't get flagged now.
Yeah!
I just want you to know you're my favorite girl.
For real, bro.
I know. Next one. You don't want to get flagged.
Yeah?
Spot. You don't want this taken down because of your dumb phone.
How do I go to the next one?
I don't know. Next.
Here we go. D'Angelo, bro.
D'Angelo. Brown sugar.
Cosmic Girl, Jamiroquai, bro. Jamiroquai, bro.
Next one.
Tunes.
Falsetto tunes. Let's go. Keep going. Justin Timberlake, Cry Me a River.
Oh, Blur, Coffee and TV.
Oh, good
Blur,
one.
bro. Falsetto tunes. La 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 means I love you.
By the... Wait, don't tell me. La, 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 la.
Want to hear some falsetto tune?
Your diamond ring. That's not the Calsos. Hold on. That's La 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 love song.
Let me tell you, la 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 la.
Falsetto tunes,
bro. Means I love you. Most famously sung by Nick Cage in Family Man.
You got the hit on you.
Gorillas. Dare, right?
Comfortably Numb, the Scissor Sisters, bro. Falsetto tunes. Scissor Sister Spot. Take your mama out tonight.
Great one.
Ooh. Warren G. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Michael McDonald.
Falsetto tunes. So why am I bringing this up? I'll tell you, because last night, after all this relationship stuff, I realized I found my fish tank again. You know what that means? It's an analogy. It's a metaphor. Because years ago, I realized I was missing a water element in my life. Because my whole life, I always had fish and fish tanks, and I would zone out for hours at a time. Zone out! And watch my little mollies and platies and angelfish and sweet, my little neons. They're all cool. Look at them. They're all acclimated. And look at all my little fish and my clown loaches. Oh, yeah. And I would zone out for hours watching my fish. And I needed that peaceful sort of getaway in my life to let me zone out and focus on and think about. And I always had a fish tank. And I realized at one point, this is years ago, man, I think I miss my fish tank. I need what's your fish tank? What's your element? And I realized yesterday, God, I miss making playlists and diving into that music and falsetto tunes. Bro, I'm working on a playlist now that is occupying my thoughts and making me feel productive. Makes me want to go out for a walk because I just want to hear my fucking mega mix. You know?
It's driving me insane. Who sings La La Love Song? I'm sorry, I haven't heard a word you said for the last... Delphonics! I said I started with
That's what
a
you've
D.
been doing for the past...
Because I was like, I don't know why. I just kept
why is he losing his mind?
I just kept picturing D-E. I'm like, it's not the Deftones, but I couldn't think of anyone other. I was like, D-E, Del, D, Del.
So Jordan gave me this account, and I'm sitting here. Again, I had to update all these playlists that I just left unfinished. It was unfinished business from a long time ago. I never went back. And here's a playlist called And Reminiscent. You know what that is? My favorite yacht rock jams.
Share these.
Little River Band stuff.
Send it to me.
You know what you should put on Cove? Know what you should...
The Climax Blues Band, bro. Jim Ramsey knows what I'm talking about.
Oh, I mean,
This song gives me a slow roaster, bro.
breeze. Gotta feel it.
This is called And Reminiscent.
Is End Reminiscent on this playlist?
Gotta be.
Of course, the Little River Band?
Yeah, it's gotta be.
You better believe it. I don't even like this song
Longer
that
by
much.
Dan Fogelberg.
Yeah, but I think of my
Great
penis
song.
every time I play it. That's the song to my penis. I don't like Gordon Lightfoot.
Oh,
Cats in the Cradle made the mix.
Papa, come on, bro. This is And Reminiscent. So anyway, I just wanted
too depressing for me.
I wanted to bring up the fact that everybody has their fish tank. Everybody
Baby,
has
I'ma
their thing.
love you. Is
You
that
know, you
bread?
should-
Did I just hear bread?
No, you said it before the show. You got to rename that playlist. Rich is like, "This Is Us" throwback or
Rich's
flashback.
This Is Us playlist.
This Is Us flashback playlist.
Baby, I'ma love you. Baby, I'ma need you.
Oh.
Baker Street, bro.
Jerry Rafferty, right?
Yeah, dude. So Jordan's like, you can't stop. Oh no, women always say this. You're obsessed.
You're obsessed.
You're obsessed.
You're obsessed.
And usually I get mad when women say that. You're
Not
obsessed.
obsessed.
I'm, like, I'm not obsessed. What do you mean I'm obsessed?
You're obsessed.
And I'm like, no, you're right. I'm obsessed because I spent all night really amped up about updating my. I have a playlist called the Alt Vault.
Oh.
And I was even communicating with Tata last night. I'm like, Tata, what's that song? I can't
What am I
think
putting in the
about
Alt Vault?
Because think about it, because I've gone a long time without
Tata's great for that.
the ability to create my playlists, right? So I'm a company man. But again, I was gifted an account. So I'm like, I got to update my Alt Vault. Like my last Alt Vault update was like Spoon. I turned my camera on. I left my living on the way. Like shit like from 10 years ago.
There's a world, I just want to say this. In the world of streaming services galore,
Yeah.
left and right, there is a place for Spotify. There's a place for SiriusXM. There's a place for Netflix. There's a place for Hulu. There's a place for Amazon Prime. There's a place for everything because it depends on what you want out of your experience. Like for me, on the way to and from work, I listen to SiriusXM because I
I hate that song.
This is my Alt Vault. How dare
great.
you?
No, it's because it's the most overplayed song on Alt Nation, Hits One, The Pulse,
Heat
everything.
Waves.
Heat
We-
Waves by Glass
we
Animals.
started
This
it
song.
first.
You know this? What's the significance of this song?
We played Heat Waves on SiriusXM when the show was
I know,
still
it's still going. That's what I'm saying. The song won't die.
Early in the morning. The Alt Vault. What's the significance?
I don't know.
Really?
You wanted the song to be our ESPN theme, and they wouldn't do it.
You don't know that is part of it. That's part of the significance.
Yeah.
All right. Actually, there's a story to this song, and I'll make it quick and I'll make it snappy, and I will get to a point. The end.
Yeah.
This song is called Monster by Big Data. And I like Big Data.
What data? What do they call it? I don't know. It's data or data. What do they call themselves?
Data.
Big data.
Big data.
This goes to show you, since we're reminiscent,
I think it always
like
used to
the
be
Little
Data,
River
though.
Band. When we had meetings for our ESPN show, you know, this was supposed to be our vision. And then we lost all control of what was supposed to be our vibe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but it was supposed to be this cool nighttime show. And they're like, well, what should the song be? Like the opening song? Because our SNY theme was awesome.
Yeah, I liked it.
And I strongly fought for this to be our intro to ESPN. Yo, what's up? Covino and Rich late night on ESPN. Welcome to Now or Never.
See, I agreed with you. I thought this was a great choice.
Right? And, I mean, fell on empty ears. And the significance is it's in the intro to our show right now, you bozo.
Oh, I thought the bigger significance that you got dissed when you actually had a good suggestion. And they're like, that's great and all, Covino. But here's like the lame intro we'll give you.
And I'll tell you, I'll end on this.
It's at the very end of our show intro, if you listen.
What I realized last night is there's an artist that I think is the shiz bam snip snap sack. And that's Sir Sly. And that might be, you know, old news to you. This is Sir Sly. I fucking love this guy, and I didn't realize it.
What's the name of that song?
His band, Sir Sly. I look at the guy as Sir Sly, but
Sir Sly.
Sir Sly.
Sir Slay.
It's
Stallone's landscaper call.
Yeah.
His landscaper calls him
It's
that.
not
Sir Sly.
seriously.
I called him Sir Sly my whole life.
Seriously?
No, Sir Sly, bro. Sir Sly. So anyway, Sir Sly is the guy, and can I just say? Oh, by the way, you guys remember this song? I asked Melody a question yesterday, and sorry for my rambles. I get real passionate about music, like Rich does about tease bets. But I asked Melody the other day. I said, Melody, if you could pick one song that's been on the car the most when we're driving around together, because I'm her chauffeur. Most of my encounters with my kid are in the car. I'm just driving in LA traffic with her all the time, back and forth. Melody, if you could pick one song that's been on the most that makes you think of Dad, what would it be? And she said this one. I'm like, yeah, probably. Dominic Fike.
I love that song. Three
Three
nights.
nights at the hotel, on the street nights in the city. And I'm like, you're right. I would. So anyway, that's the Alt Vault. And I got everything from Harmony Hall to.
It's a good song.
Yeah, I love it, man. Sir Sly. This song makes me want to cry. All these songs are fucking so great. Anyway, What I learned last night is that, oh no, this is the one that makes me want to cry.
Oh, superposition.
Fucking A, dude.
A lot of these songs are on my yoga playlists.
Yeah, I love all these songs. I love Tame Impala.
That's where I get my joy for playlist making, when I make yoga playlists, because I try and bring in like alt songs, popular songs, older songs, and weave them into a yoga flow. So that's you can do yoga to anything.
So again, what's the point of this story? 2.
I don't know.
There's an artist that I didn't even know I liked. And his name is Sir Sly. I knew I liked his songs. I didn't realize how many of the songs I liked. Sir Sly. And he has a new one out that I fucking love.
Sir Sly.
So it's crazy when you start to add up certain songs. You're like, yeah, I like that song. I think I'd love the 21 Pilots. So it's a weird epiphany that everybody has, because you're like, you start to compile all these songs that you really like.
Well, a good way on these services or you know, SiriusXM or Pandora or Spotify is you go to pre-curated channels, playlists, whatever, and based on your genre, you find songs and artists that you didn't know you liked, and then you go down the what is it called? The wormhole?
The wormhole, he calls
the wormhole of artist, and you find other songs from them and deeper cuts, and it's fun.
Sir Sly.
That's the beauty of these services.
He's a badass. One of my favorite songs I can't even find, and I always forget who sings it. I don't want to live like this, but I don't want to die. Ooh.
That's
on my list. It's the alt vault, bro. So the point
I
is,
thought that was Harmony Hall.
Oh, Harmony Hall, yeah.
Yeah.
I already mentioned that one, right?
Yeah.
So what I realized was how much I miss being able to just compile my favorite songs and create these playlists and create that vibe that makes me happy, or create that vibe I'm looking for. And I have another one, Rich. That's called Dirty Rockin'. I don't know why I called it that, because it's just dirty fucking makes you make this face like,
What does that mean? Give me an example of a song from Dirty Rockin'. Like nasty, like
just straight up rock and roll.
Okay.
Like straight up rock and roll. Not turbo, not octane. Like songs that have, let's see, first one that comes on, I don't know.
What was that song you just played?
It's Kasabian. You guys don't know Kasabian.
Yeah, that's dirty.
What was the song you just played before that?
Before what?
So like the
Harmony Hall?
No, man, that's December. That was
Harmony Hall.
Harmony Hall. That's
Yeah.
a good song.
Yeah. So a lot of, you remember this song? We played this a lot on our show.
It does make me want to have a stank face.
Yeah, bro. A lot of like Jet, the Vines, the Hives, just rock. Wolf Mother, Shake Bug, Cold Hard Bitch. Anyway, what's your fish tank? And I realized that part of what makes me is not only zoning out watching my fish, but it's zoning out and playing these songs. And then it's like baking a cake. You have fun baking it, but then the fun part is eating it. I make these, and now I want to go on a walk. I want to get in my car. I want to throw my headphones on. I want to come up with the most perfect playlist, and I want to enjoy that. And I realize, like, I love that. And I love music and all kinds of it. And sometimes I forget.
I would love to share these with our...
I'm good on that.
Why not?
Remember this song? It's just dirty rock, bro. Dirty rock. I want to get free. I want to get free.
Doo-doo.
I want to get free. Right into the sun.
Dude face.
Put some stank on that. So anyway, yo, I spent hours doing this last night. And again, it makes you feel like, yeah, that's what I was all about before all those relationships that we discussed for the past hour took over my mind. And then you become consumed on how to please other people. And how am I going to fix this? And, oh, am I stepping on their toes? And, oh, man, is that person happy? I just want everybody to be happy. No, you know what makes me fucking happy? Doing that. And I think we all need that reminder in life that we got to do for us. And number one, and this shit, as simple as it may seem, makes me happy.
This is something that has been ingrained in our psyche, in our fabric since we were young, since the 80s, and we heard radio and playlists and started taping things off the radio, and then the advent of the MP3 player, and well, then you had the option to just put whatever song you wanted on this, and then you would make playlists from there, and then Now it's
Bro,
like, yeah.
obsessed. So Jordan is right.
Now
Because
we're
I've
like-
been doing this since she gave me this account. I've been organizing them, deleting them, moving that song to this, creating a new playlist. How do I categorize it? Oh, but I love it. I'm obsessed with it, and I love all these songs. And I'm rediscovering songs that I fucking forgot about because I hadn't played them in so long. But they hit me. The beauty of this is you put songs on there that you liked, not that everyone else necessarily liked, but you liked them for whatever reason. And I'm obsessed with it. It makes me happy, and I'm happy to share that with you. Maybe I'll make them public. Maybe I won't because they're for me. But anyway, thank you guys for hearing me
They're
out.
your personal playlist.
I
So-
shared
I'm playlist obsessed again.
like we did that thing. I forget when it was. It was a few months ago where we all made our 90s playlist. Those are available. Those are out there. They're on my Spotify account if you want to
Don't
check
put
it out.
anything of mine on Spotify, please.
I never mentioned once,
What do you mean?
but
No.
Spotify
Yeah.
could express that it makes me happy. That's what I'm trying to do. And by the way, that playlist is out there of yours.
It is?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But thanks for hearing me out.
It
And
doesn't
it's
say
not about my playlist.
Rich
It's
Davis of Sirius XM's whatever
Oh, but what does
playlist.
it say, though?
It says Rich's 90s playlist,
Okay,
and
that's
it's on
Yeah.
on Spot's account on
Now-
Spotify.
Oh, that's fine. Okay, that's
the
cool.
point of the conversation
Relax,
is
Rich.
whether it be whittling
Why
wood or
do you say relax?
Because we're not.
Why do you say
shit,
relax
we're not-
when my one non-compete is Spotify? Why do you say relax?
Are you doing a show for them?
No, but why would you tell me to relax when
I mean,
it's not a relaxed moment? It's okay.
we couldn't like talk up
Okay.
Sirius XM any better. Like I said, it's serves a purpose.
No, but don't tell me to relax when
You're being
You
a
know.
little bit wound tight about it.
okay.
We're not disrespecting any platform here at all.
Okay, that's fair.
Maybe you missed the part because you were out of the room, but I did say like SiriusXM is great, has great curated content, has original programming, has a channel for everything. But they don't allow you to make playlists, and people like to make playlists. It's 2022.
fine.
Just like you can have Netflix, you can have Hulu, you can have Amazon Prime. I have them all, and I pay for them all.
Awkward burgers. I have a playlist called Awkward Burgers.
What's on that?
Songs that make me like feel awkward inside. I have a 90s one-hit wonder playlist. 90s one-hit wonder like playlist. And I made that shit years ago, but I rediscovered it because, again, I didn't have my account for all that time. And I'm like, dang. So it's not about my playlist. It's about, again, this was my hobby growing up, like Spot said. This is like years in the making because we did this growing up, but now you do it in a different way. And it's nothing new to anybody, but I rediscovered it, and it's like, well, is it knitting for you? Is it whittling wood? Is it called whittling? Whittling?
You can whittle.
You could whittle, right?
You could whittle
it could
for
be
sure.
playing an instrument. It could be going fishing. But it's like, what made you you? And here's another one that I don't do, but going to the batting cage is something like, yeah, that's me again. And sometimes I think you need that.
The reintroduction of your what gives you a little energy.
What's it called?
Might be bowling for you. Might reignite.
Bowling. What makes you you? What's it called? Like, like visiting your family that you haven't seen in a long time gives you like a recharge,
yeah.
grounding of sorts.
Those things are definitely things that recharge you. Essentially, they charge your battery.
And that was it for me yesterday.
For you, it's definitely music. Like you're a music guy through and through.
So I was fired up about that. Well, last night especially because I realized how unorganized it was. But I've been really stoked about the ability to just play what I wanted to play, and it makes me happy. The end. So that was my last night. That was my
Does
Monday.
Jordan make playlists with you or no?
Jordan has all these different albums. I told you, she's way into like Kanye West and all that kind of shit. And by the way,
or like now, is she gonna get the?
she loves Pitbull
What's that
radio
thing
on
called?
Sirius XM.
Did she get the Kanye
the stem player?
the device?
No, she did not. When we go on road trips, she plays a lot of country music and on her playlist. She has her own shit. Yeah, this is nothing new to her or to anybody. But again, I hadn't done this in a long time, so I get fired up about it.
I think that Spot, I think you've made this point before when you were talking about this. Some people like curated playlists. Some people like to be surprised. And I think depending on
both.
your mood, depending on your mood, I guess that's what you choose. Like there are times where, I mean, if you stick to just your playlist, you're never going to be surprised with that. Oh shit, I forgot that song. Like that's the negative of that's a negative of only listening to curated playlists, because you'll never be like, oh shit, I forgot that song.
Yeah, there are songs like either on like Pop Rocks or Lithium or even Alt Nation. Like I'll listen to it and I'll be like, oh, that's a good song, because someone else is curating the content.
Yeah.
And then I can take that and put it on a playlist of mine.
I have a playlist, and I'll end it on this, called, I have fun trying to name them too. This one's called That's My Ship Hop. That's my ship hop.
Is there a T in that, or is it just ship
hop?
Oh, ship
Ship
hop.
hop.
Got it.
That's my ship with 8 eyes. I'm just going to play it. Let's see what comes on.
Oh, Warren G.
Regulators.
Nice.
Regulators.
What else?
Oh.
Dirty dog. I'm an outlaw. Lap dance for free, baby. Oh. Chris Rocker knows what I'm talking about.
These like strip club songs of the 2000s.
Yeah.
Oh,
Shake your ass. Watch yourself.
I love this song. It reminds
Ludacris?
me, but not only do I love Ludacris, it reminds me of Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
It does. Sounds like it. I got 5 on it.
This is That's My Ship Hop.
This is a good playlist. Keep going.
Yeah, bro.
Let's do one more.
You want to hear more?
Yeah, I want to see what else on this.
See, dude.
It's a good one.
And every time I'm like, yeah, there's a sense of, I mean, these songs exist, right? But when you create the playlist, there's like a sense of ownership to it. Like, yeah, bro, I did that shit. I did nothing.
Keep going until I don't know one.
Okay. Oh, good one.
Luna. You're beautiful, Pharrell. All right, good one.
Snoop Dogg and Pharrell, bro.
Of course.
Mommy Benaki.
I don't know this one.
Partner, can't you
Who's
see?
this?
It's fucking Puff Daddy sings Spanish, so I love it. This is called Senorita.
Oh,
I know that
Diddy,
song.
bro.
Yeah. Keep going. Don't let it play too long. You don't want to get flagged. What you know about that? That's your favorite T.I. song from the 2000s.
Love it. NERD Rockstar, you know it.
I'm done. That was the one.
Oh.
It's a good song.
On 50 Cent.
Rich loves that
And
song. 'Cause
Jeremiah,
that's,
bro.
That's the one that little weird kid lip sync to. Remember?
Yeah.
That song?
Honestly, there's a song I think on this playlist, Rich, that makes me think of your bachelor party. And
Which
I
one's
can't think
that?
of what it is.
You know what reminds me of my wedding is that Flow Rider song. The club can't even handle us right now.
I think, no, actually it's not, but I think it was a fabulous song. Fabulous song. And I can't remember the name of it. See, and now, to wrap up that portion of the conversation, I rack my brain trying to remember songs, and they're on the tip of my tongue, and I hate that feeling, but I love it all at the same time. It makes me feel alive and awake, and I'm like, what was that song? Like, I could play this game. What was that song at Rich's bachelor party? It was popular. I think it was fabulous. But what is it?
No, I don't think it was Fabulous, because Fabulous, his biggest hits were early 2000s.
Anyway, I don't know. I'll drive myself crazy. Like I was hitting up Tata last night, who so proud of her. That's a conversation in itself. Our former associate producer Tata just kills it on Alt Nation.
She's
I honestly
so good.
think she's one of the best hosts on Sirius XM. I really think she's that
good at
good.
it.
But I was like, Tata, what's that song? Tata. And then I try to rack my brain with what's that song? Oh, what's that song?
Michael E. brings up a good point. And I noticed this a lot on social media recently. A lot of people going to a good concert or a show will recharge them after being stuck at home for a while. Like I saw a few people just saying like,
I
oh,
felt
I've been
that
to
way
a,
after seeing Korn and System. I
Went
felt
to
like,
my,
oh, that's me. That's what I'm about.
went to my
Yes.
first concert in years. I feel like a lot of people feel that way once they go back to their first baseball game this
a great
spring.
point. Who said that?
Or Michael. Yeah, once you go back to a baseball game or once you go back to a basketball game or, you know, a concert or even an amusement park. I know it's a pain in the ass, like crowds and everything, but the minute you go back to something that sort of defined you pre-pandemic, because the pandemic even changed your habits. Think about that. I saw a stat that said podcast listens are astronomically higher than they were a couple years ago, yet FM and AM broadcasts are way down, which just shows you the patterns of people still want audio content, but now they just listen when they want, where the idea of like my morning commute, a lot of people haven't had a morning commute in 2 years.
I'm sorry, Rich. I was adding a song that I remember rocking out to at your bachelor party that I just added to my That's My Ship Hop playlist.
Oh, what song is it? I remember that song.
You be killing them. You be killing them. You be killing them. I have C's R&B's. I have a whole fucking thing. You don't know about my Jodeci to Boys to Men to Donnell Jones. You don't know about it.
So,
C's R&B's.
So a lot of
you
people
know about my Frank Oceans.
A lot of people just listen differently now. In fact, more people are listening than ever before to podcasts and audio entertainment. It's just, I saw it with the Fox research. We get the little email from the big boss saying the podcast listens are astronomically higher than they were, yet the broadcast numbers are down for everyone across the board. So if someone's like, oh yeah, you just listen to Dan Patrick every day, which by the way, we're filling in for Dan Patrick on Thursday morning.
We are. I'm a
I'm a
little amped about that.
Not as many people listen to Dan Patrick in the car anymore. But you know what? His podcast numbers are through the roof. It's a different way to listen. So
Crazy.
it's just that the pandemic sort of pushed along that agenda, huh?
And on a total side note, I see how passionate my daughter is about doing the same thing. And I may have done a lot of things wrong, but I'm so glad I passed on the gift or the love of music to her. She doesn't have to love what I love. And trust me, she doesn't. She likes a lot of the stuff that I like. But she has her own shit that she's into, and they discover shit that you never even heard of. You're like, where are you finding this stuff? And, you know, she's way into it. So, you know, that also inspires me. But whatever that is for you, we all need that reminder because we get caught in that rut and caught in that, you know, that dad brain and that dad life or that work routine or, you know, that mundane sort of every day where you're scratching your nuts. And that's me, you know? And I'm like, yeah, no, I got to go bowl in, maybe hit the batting cage, make a playlist, go to that show. We've talked about this a bunch of times, but I really forgot how much I love doing that.
Some people saying hitting an island, going somewhere where you're chilling on a beach is something that you need to do to refresh yourself, recharge.
An island boy, just trying to make it.
I know you're an island boy. And speaking of us filling in for Dan Patrick on Thursday morning,
where'd they go?
That's gonna be a big deal. A lot of people saying like, yeah, that might be the most ears we've ever had.
Yeah, I don't need extra pressure.
2 is good.
Take the pressure.
I put enough on myself.
Take the pressure. I'm just saying Thursday morning, filling in for Dan Patrick. I'm trying to think if there's been a time.
Breathe the pressure. Come play my game. I'll test you.
Has there been a time where we've possibly have had more people listening to us? Dan Patrick radio.
I mean, we were on First Take.
Less way smaller audience.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, for sure. This might be our big filling in for Dan Patrick. Might be our biggest audience yet.
I mean, long overdue, if you ask me.
No, I agree, but I'm thinking like satellite radio is in its own little bubble, so you can't say that. ESPN, yeah, but like Will Kane in the middle of the day or filling in for Stephen A. doesn't have the audience Dan Patrick has. Doing TV doesn't have the numbers that syndicated radio has. So this is probably our biggest audience. After, even when you were on a K-Rock and I was on in New York, yeah, there were millions of people listening, but that was in New York. This is, you know, you love to say it. Fox Sports has 500 plus radio stations around the country, and Dan Patrick's their number one listened to morning show.
That's Thursday, guys.
6 to 9 a.m. West Coast. So
you know what I need to? I need to get fired up for that, bro.
Well, I was going to say something we possibly are going to talk about.
I need to get fired up for that Thursday show. How am I going to do that?
Hopefully it...
what do you got?
Gotta make a Songs That Fire Me Up playlist.
Songs that fire me up for
hopefully by then...
Breathe the pressure.
Dan Patrick.
Come play my game. I'll test ya. I got to come up with a playlist for this.
What could you call it?
I have a playlist called Turboctane. Turboctane.
Wow.
Like it's like rock, octane, turbo octane.
Oh, you could call the playlist Light My Fire.
Oh, that's a good one, bro. That's a good one.
Something that we'll probably talk about on Thursday morning. We'll probably speculate. Think of your one-liners and jokes now because Russell Wilson apparently has scrubbed his social media of all Seahawks references. Which, could that mean the off-season quarterback carousel of progress begins? Like, Covino and I had the chance to fill in for Dan Patrick either today or Thursday, and we chose Thursday. And I'm sort of glad we did because if today there was like awesome fucking hot stories, like Ben Maller or one of the other Fox people. I think it was like, and Gottlieb.
Ben Maller.
So they linked up a couple random Fox hosts. But we had the choice. We had first pick, Tuesday or Thursday. And we said, I thought in my mind, Thursday just seems like there's going to be more going on or something.
Yeah, let it breathe.
Right?
Let
And we were
things
on
develop.
Sunday. So like let the week develop a little bit. And I'm happy because nothing happened this morning where I was like, oh, I wish we could have talked about that. But now, Russell Wilson, maybe by Thursday some shit happens. So that might be the biggest. That might be the biggest audience. Also, Thursday mornings is always a big radio audience for some reason. All right.
Want to get into other nonsense?
Yeah,
So
I mean,
got
yeah,
two stories that
course.
sort of. It's kind of cool because I sit on stories for reasons to bring them up. I'm like, well, do I have a reason to bring this up? Bam, I do. Madonna's been in the news because she looks ridiculous. She looks good, but ridiculous. Okay, I've had that in my back pocket. And then another story to sort of correspond with it also surfaced. I'm like, oh, perfect. Now we can talk about it.
She's an entertainer.
I get it, but think of the influence that these entertainers have on the general public.
How old is she now?
60 something.
63, I believe.
Do you want her to look like? No one wants her to look.
Bro,
63.
she's like our mom's age.
I know, but
Craziness.
your mom didn't wear a cone bra in the 80s. Maybe she did.
63.
I don't
Your
know.
mom's not an international pop star.
She shocks fans with
Maybe
new
she
pics
is. I don't know.
as they claim she looks 16 years old. So Madonna, who, I mean, is right up there, right after Michael Jackson, Imho, when you think of 80s superstars.
Yeah, if you were to make an 80s montage,
Do you want to see my 80s playlist, bro?
Madonna and
My
Michael
80s
Jackson.
My 80s playlist will fucking...
I think we're good on playlist.
I gotta be honest.
It'll
I
kill
think
you.
we're.
I know it's all makeup and oh my god, like whoever did her work
Deserves an award.
deserves an award because she normally when you see older women get work done, it's like scary.
It's got to be done the right way.
It's like weird cat eyes
That's
and
why.
like
That's why. That's why.
filler
women-
lips. Like they look like Lisa Rinna.
That's why women will tell you if you do things slowly and surely and a little bit here and there versus like going in for all this shit, like you're gonna look good.
Sure you don't want to hear my 80s jams playlist?
This is gonna be me in 5 years.
Play it while we talk about Madonna. Spot, show me this picture of Madonna that you're talking about.
You're in for a treat, Rich.
So, again, she's in the news.
Is that
Who
her on the
owned-
right?
This is her in both photos.
Looks like a teenager.
16.
Hence the
Madonna,
headline.
63, shocks fans with new pictures. They claim she looks 16 years old. Look at her. Like,
She looks fantastic. Good for Madonna.
That's like the
anyone that argues
smoothest-
that is ridiculous.
That's
Madonna
the
looks better than any 63-year-old I've seen.
I mean, you can't see the scars, but that's the smoothest.
Where's the scars at?
I don't know. Probably under her.
What do you mean scars?
However they like, because I'm sure they had to like pull some stuff back.
There's no
These
scars.
scars
left.
together.
Bro, yeah, she looks hot. She's
at her.
filtered. She's fillered.
She's wearing
She's
something on her
fillered.
mouth.
She's filtered. She's 63, looking 16. She looks like
like
a feline of
She looks
sorts.
like a Kardashian banged Miley Cyrus in a way.
She looks like a Kardashian banged the
the teeth.
tiger person.
I think she looks
So-
fantastic.
Bro, come on.
You don't
You're
think
the
she looks
problem
fantastic
then?
then? You don't-
We got to stop,
I mean,
stop blowing smoke up the ass. It looks bad.
age. Look right there.
She got elbows.
She has
Old lady elbows.
Yeah, so it's like
I
her
respect
face is,
wanting
her
to
face
maintain.
is 16, but I'm
her-
sure her thighs
But her
are
insides
50.
are 63. That's weird. That's actually really weird.
a
So
little lube kink
there's-
here.
look, I'm torn on it. Like Creed and Natalie Imbruglia. Torn.
I think she looks good. What do
Because-
you rather her look like an old lady?
I don't want her to look like Old Mother Hubbard. She's a superstar. I get it. But
She doesn't look like Lisa Rinna, like Spot said. She
Yeah.
looks good. I think that whatever
Like,
whoever
that's what I said.
whoever did her work deserves a little fist bump
That's
because
what
I feel
I
like they
said.
did a great
you're
job.
starting to look not normal.
Right.
And that's where it's weird for me. And I'm not the only one. So again, I'm torn because, yeah, I get it. She wants to look good and you got to tip your hat and give credit. And that's what the article's about. She says something along the lines of like, she doesn't want to look like an old lady. I mean, I don't want to look like an old guy. I mean, who wants to look like Grandpa Munster? I don't. So,
Sweet Widow's peak though.
Yeah.
He had that. He
I
had
know.
this thing going on the side of his head.
Yeah, the sidest side poofs of all time.
Like Rich in the early 2000s.
I know. Actually, I used to tell the barber. I used to tell the hairstylist, like, can you leave it a little Grandpa Munsterish?
I thought you asked for like the Larry from the Three Stooges.
I found a picture of Rich yesterday where he had the most majestic mullet.
I saw a picture of Rich the other day. I thought it was Mel Gibson from Lethal Weapon. So anyway.
Is that Rich or Riggs?
So
Riggs.
I'm torn on it because I respect maintaining. I respect trying to look your best. I respect a little work if it makes you feel better and makes you look better, okay?
You think Jordan's going to go her whole life without getting anything done? With the generation she grew up in? You think Jordan's going to be a 6-year-old woman that's like, I've never got one thing done?
I don't.
Come on.
I know Kristen won't.
But again, you got to like do these things tastefully and gracefully. And there's nothing like...
Lady model.
Like, Madonna just looks odd, bro. How do you not see that? And same thing with the girls with these lips, bro. It looks terrible. Girls with these lips, these lip injections, they look stupid, man. Why are we blowing the up their skirts with false compliments? That shit don't look good.
I mean, we're just not going to look like our grandparents' generation.
But it looks
I'm reading the
fake.
feedback. Our
I said
grandparents,
it's a spot. Fake is
Well,
it.
I mean,
our
if you
grandparents,
want, if you look fake, that's what's in.
Dude, our grandparents fought in wars
Wrong.
and kicked cans down the street. Our parents
in the 80s looked like they were 60.
Yeah,
like they always had the old look.
My grandfather died when he was 73. He looked like he was 93.
Right.
My dad's 70 and looks 25 years younger than my grandparents did when they passed away in their 70s.
And look at
my
us.
dad's like a healthy 70-year-old guy that looks 25 years younger. Like,
Look at our parents.
Times have changed.
Look at our parents at 40 and us at 40.
Spot. Try to find this clip. It's viral as we speak.
Spot.
It's called "Kids in the '80s Look Like They're 36 Years Old."
You
in high
think
school.
like, all right.
There's kids in high school in the 80s that look like they're 36. I believe that's what it is.
There's no
Kids
way on earth
in the 80s
There's
look
no
old.
way on earth someone in the 70s or 80s or 90s looked the way we do at 40. Like at 42, I look way different than other generations at 42. Like you think you look like your dad or grandpa or great grandpa at 42?
My dad
At
had a
42?
mustache.
Please, I just think we look different, man.
The reason I bring it up today, again, it's a story.
You
Madonna
also use moisturizer.
has new pictures that make her look like she's 16 when she's 63.
I feel like my grandfather washed his face with lava soap.
Of course, it's all fake. We get that. But again, it's to the point where people are looking weird. And we've been talking about this for a long time. But this is becoming the beauty norm, which is odd to me because I like a girl that looks hot, but I don't like that. Like when you could tell it's manufactured, I don't give that any credit. Like I don't give that props because you spent a few G's on that. Like that's weak to me. Weak sauce.
I mean, I think Madonna's an exception because she's an international pop star, and I think who did her work did it well. I think she looks better. Yeah,
God, her face looks like she's got a melon head.
all right.
So
Hey,
anyway,
you don't like Madonna? What do you want to say?
So why else do I bring it up? Because Courtney Cox is in the news today with the exact opposite of a story. Courtney Cox is 57, and when she did that Friends reunion, she looked weird, man. Her lips looked weird. She looked different, and she saw that backlash, I'm sure, on social media. But now she's finally accepting that it makes her look weird. So there's a Courtney Cox story that we'll get into next where she's stopping all this, wants to age gracefully because she started to notice that she was looking strange the more and more she was filling her face up with weird shit.
There was a weird turn for her.
Yeah, so she's saying no more to that
Look
shit.
at this photo. This is funny. These are my parents when my mom was pregnant with me. They were 23. Look at this guy. Look at this couple.
They're 70.
They look like they're in their 50s.
I wish you could find this clip of the 80s.
I'm sure.
There's a classroom clip of they're just filming kids in the 80s.
Is it Brent Rambo?
And the meme or the GIF or the little short clip that lives says, kids in the 80s in high school look like they were 36 years old. And they do. But Courtney Cox is the flip side to the story, and I'll give you a little taste of that again. Courtney Cox, according to Eric Benscoter, what's up, Eric, and Yahoo News, realized her injections were making her look strange. Our buddy Ben says most people don't realize how crazy it makes them look or try to deny it and try to deny that they had these procedures done at all.
Right.
Courtney Cox is 57, on aging, and realized that she's actually looking strange with injections, decides to no longer do it.
Yeah, she went through a weird phase. I feel like I'm young. I have a lot of friends in their 30s, and I don't think about it. to me, we're the same age until I actually study it.
Some people get better work than others. Some people keep this in mind too.
Maybe work looks better on others.
Well, that was what I was going to say was, you know how sometimes, I'll give you a dumb example. You know how you can get your wisdom teeth out and some person like the next day they're fine. And then someone else is like 2 weeks later, their mouth still hurts. Yeah. Some people could get Tommy John surgery, be back a year later and pitch and win the Cy Young. Other people are just never the same. We can't expect medical procedures or any type of procedure to have the same effect on everyone. I mean, look at the fucking vaccine and look at the COVID. Things have different effects on different people because we are all different. So if you think that fillers and Botox and surgery and fucking nose jobs and wisdom teeth, you name it, Covino, any different thing is going to have a different effect. If 10 women got the same procedure done, you think all 10 are going to have the same looking results just because they went to the same doctor? Right. No, wait, think of titties. Girls will go to a really popular plastic surgeon.
Wait, thinking of titties.
Quiet, I'm thinking of titties.
Some girl will go get her boobs done from a plastic surgeon because he's got a great reputation. And for every doctor that has a great reputation, there's a handful of women that are like, he mangled my titties, because it's never going to be the same for every single person. So, yeah, man, like there's some people that are like, oh, I got filler and Botox and it looks great. Other people look like fucking a weird duck, you know?
So, again, what are the stories here? Madonna looks good but ridiculous at the same time.
Yeah, and
she's 63. She's someone's grandma. She's posing with her butthole out.
Use moisturizer. Come on.
But she's also a rock star, superstar. I get that.
You're not Madonna.
On the flip side, yeah, again, you're not Madonna, but
you're not Madonna.
Life imitates art. Young people see this, and that's the new standard of beauty. That's dangerous. As your kid gets older, you're gonna think, yeah, I hope my kid doesn't do that shit.
I mean, Jennifer Aniston has had work done.
Now, on the flip side,
so when people like Jennifer Aniston, Jennifer Aniston has had probably little touch-ups or filler or Botox.
Again, I feel like you're falling into the trap of what the standard of beauty is now. And I do too, but I try to catch myself. I'm like, that's gross. That's not the standard of beauty. A little here, a little there, fine. But when you start looking weird like Madonna, that's not hot, and you're saying it is. It's not. It's weird looking.
Yeah, you and I disagree on this type of stuff.
Yeah,
because
you're wrong.
You
you're
think
entitled to your wrong opinion.
Because you think like
El
I think that's beauty. I'm
is
just
he not entitled to his wrong opinion? He is. What do you mean? I think you said it.
You're the guy that loves it. You're the guy that loves the Kardashians.
That's exactly what you said.
You're the guy that loves every woman that looks like a Kardashian.
They don't look.
All the
as
girls
weird
you
as
look at
Madonna
on
does
social
right
media and
now.
all the
They're
girls
younger.
over the years that you're like, oh, she's fucking hot. They all got that same Kardashian
like
look.
hot women.
So if someone likes that look, it's you that likes that look.
Am I the one saying that Madonna looks great? You are.
No, I'm saying Madonna in particular had good work done. It's clear she had work done.
She looks
but
like a feline.
Look at the picture again. It's Photoshopped too, so it's irrelevant. I mean, some people have a lot of work done. Some people have little work done. And people that, I mean, it's obvious that that's the way that this generation's going.
Looking at Madonna.
Yeah, but it's problematic. It's weird.
Madonna,
the standard of beauty is really weird.
If you think that most women aren't going to get something done, especially like anyone 40 and younger, come on now.
That's not my point. My point is people are starting to look weird. And I think that's dangerous territory to hype that up. And that's it. Like
there's two.
And women like it too. Women hype each other up about it. Like, yeah.
It's too high of a risk for me. Like,
I don't know.
It's like Botched. Like
Botched is an interesting show.
Yeah, like I don't want to lose my face and never get it back because you can't do it. It's like, a tattoo you can cover up, even though they say it's permanent, but you can cover it up or have it removed. If they fuck up your face, there's no going back, son. Right?
Lisa says 13-year-olds are getting nose jobs after their bar mitzvah. Yeah,
that's always been a thing.
Yeah, but dude, come on, man. These kids are going to have a weird, fucked up standard of beauty. And I see that with women. Like, they hype each other up when they got obvious work done, but that obvious work done is the norm and is the standard. It's almost like having a sweet Gucci belt. It's like, oh, yeah, you can see she got her lips done. Isn't that hot? Like, no, it's not. If I could see it, then it's not hot. If you did it, fine. If you did it and I notice it, yeah, I think you look like Robbie Rotten. That's what I think. You look like the plastic people in the Primus video. You look odd. You look weird. You don't look natural. So if you got work done, like Jennifer Aniston you mentioned before, and I really don't notice it, then
which is most women that you don't think have work done.
But that's fine. I'm not against that. I'm not against that. I said a million times, if you want to maintain and do a little something to maintain and still look good, fine. People are taking it too far where they don't look like people anymore. They look like Robbie Rotten from Lazy Town. They look like plastic people. Plastic Man's Comedy Adventure Show. It's weird.
Zush made a good point. Madonna does strategically cover her neck and hands and things that would indicate old age. That's just what it is. And
so you got the two flip stories.
Yeah, and it just SOCKS. It is what it is. Everyone's gonna look different. Everyone's gonna look different. 10 people get the same thing done. All 10 people are going to have different results.
They're going to take to it differently.
Yeah.
Tadu.
Yeah, but some people are carried away with it, man.
I know. No diggity, no doubt.
And how do you handle that? Like, you start noticing your friends looking different? Like, do you acknowledge it? Like, when it's so noticeably different? Hey, the face is...
You don't think there's some people you see that you're like, oh, they'd probably benefit from doing that?
Again, I'm not against it. It's when you notice it.
You ever see someone that just aging a little bit, like a woman that, like, if she's like, yeah, I think I'm going to get a little Botox. And you're like, oh, she's...
Again.
That would look good on her, yeah.
I'm not against that. I'm not against it. I'm talking about when you start looking like a different person. Because your cheekbones are like this now. That's not how you looked before.
You start to see it in the clarity of the televisions we now have. By the way, some of these TVs do not do reporters more than most people justice. Reporters, you know who benefited the least from like HD and then 4K and all this like the highest of high clarity? Caked on makeup reporters.
Not everybody could be as beautiful as Kaidi Tong, bro. That was my girl.
It's like,
Kaidi
that's
Tong
to me
remember?
Is where it's like, woo, like you see reporters sometimes you're like, yo, I see them. Then you see their hands are a different color than their face because everything's so crystal clear now.
Rich liked Connie Chung. I was more of a Kaidi Tong kind of guy.
That's a game I used to love to play. Is it Kaidi Tong or Connie Chung?
Connie Chung was more like serious news. Maury Povich's ex-wife. She was of higher caliber, but Kaidi Tong was a local newswoman who was fantastic and a staple in my life.
No one beats Father Time in life and sports and looks or anything. I'm just saying there's some people that go overboard and look stupid, and I agree with you. I'm just think Madonna is a weird example because she's like the biggest pop star of a generation. So the fact that she doesn't look ridiculous, she doesn't have Lisa Rinna like weird duck lips, and it just Madonna looks like she got a lot of work done. I don't think it looks terrible, but
that's what.
Like someone
is
said,
becoming like a normal sort of standard of beauty. Like,
but I'm saying
the
look
of you had work done is the standard.
Yes. I don't think that should be.
Bonkers.
I agree with you that it's bonkers that the look of, oh my God, that's definite work done shouldn't be the look. But there's bozos that are chiming in saying, I don't think anyone should get work done. Cindy Crawford looks great. You don't think Cindy Crawford had work done, you bozo?
That's not what I'm saying. Yeah.
No, not you. I'm saying like in general. Like
if Cindy Crawford had work done, which I'm sure she has. And she still looks natural, and she still looks.
That means she got a good work done, and she got minimal good work done.
Yeah, minimal.
Like,
Something that makes you look natural. So the end. That's in the news.
You get what I'm saying? Like if someone had work done, and you're like, oh, I can't. If the answer, it's like boobs back in the day.
Boobs. Oh.
If you can't tell from looking,
thinking of titties.
If you could look at a girl, if you could look at a girl's boobs, and you can't tell if they're real or fake.
Yeah.
Then if they're fake, that means they're really good fake. So good for her. If you look at a girl and you're like, yo, she's got just two big rocks on her chest, the mounds, those are fake, then you could say, well, that's not really a good boob job, is it? It's like any work, Covino. If you see some person like, well, they had a nose job, isn't that just shitty work where someone else is like, oh, they had a nose job? I can never tell. The nose looks fantastic. It's going to be different on everyone. How is that not?
Because I think it's like tattoos, bro. I think people get obsessive and carried away with it.
Of course they do, yeah.
And then it becomes too much.
Some people
that's why it's dangerous territory.
Tattoos are a great example because some people could get one or two tattoos and call it a day, and then other people can't. And then by the time you snap your fingers, they got sleeves. So
Ooh, snap your fingers.
Neck tattoos. Snap your fingers.
Snap your neck.
Yeah,
I'm gonna add that to my Octurbo playlist. Anyway, that brings us to the rando news of the day.
Oh, shit. All
On
right.
this Tuesday.
Bye, guys.
It's a Tuesday. 2/22/22. Rando news. Tuesday. This day kept us going for a long time. What are we going to do to celebrate this Tuesday?
In what is it? In
I have an alarm
16
set.
minutes. 16 minutes. So do I. 16 minutes. 16 minutes, baby.
Oh, man. What are we going to do? We have a dance party?
I don't know. I mean, it
We
could.
can do a little double Dutch buzz? We can do a little groove line? What are we going to do, man? We have a party or what?
Oh, we got to celebrate.
We do Born to Be Alive?
Dude, what's
Born
like
to- Can I make like a dance playlist that fires me up? Born to Be Alive, Groove Line, Double Dutch Bus. Those are some of my favorites.
Tuesday.
So it's an official Tuesday. And in the news, I already mentioned Madonna. Looks weird, but hot in a weird old lady kind of way. But dangerous. Courtney Cox says she's going to do the opposite. Britney Spears is in the news. She looks different, but good. She signed a $15 million book deal. So if you're like Justin Timberlake, do you say, "Ooh, I wonder what she's going to tell all about me," because it's going to be a tell-all book about her whole life. $15 million. It's a lot,
Man.
for Britney's tell-all. So
I don't know if that's a lot. And I only say that because what are other book
you're
advances?
right.
Like if
I don't know. But still a lot of
if Donald Trump or Bill
Sounds like a lot
Clinton
of
or Obama or some former president gets a book deal, I don't know. What is their book deal?
Right.
Like, I don't know. So 15, it's like, damn, 15 million. But I'm like, where? Please someone tell me where
she
that
might be
yeah,
worth
like,
more than that.
yeah,
Yeah.
like it could be the front end, back end, but that is a lot of money. So Britney Spears, there's probably a lot of people being like, oh no. Anytime someone gets a ton of money for a tell-all, there's probably a lot of people that are like, oh, snap. Like, what could Britney say about a lot of people in her life?
I don't know. We're going to find
it
out.
could be juicy.
Going to find out. So that's in the news. That's in Rich's Pop 2K sort of wheelhouse, millhouse of a wheelhouse. In other news, I thought this was cool. This is a personal Steve Covino sort of shout out update. As a Yankees fan who wonders, like all baseball fans, when's baseball going to start?
Never.
Everybody has a player in mind that probably never got the credit they deserved, because to appreciate them and their consistency is to watch them every day to really know. And for me, the definition of that guy is Paul O'Neill. And I could see how the world would hate this guy because he was so like a crybaby in a lot of ways, right? Perception-wise to other fans and other teams and other players.
I always thought Paul O'Neill, from a distance, not watching him every day, Paul O'Neill to me seemed like a sore loser, like a sour type of guy. Like,
Remember
he
slamming his helmet down,
Remember
like
when he refused to hit 2 home runs for a kid that was sick?
I know. Even
What a
then,
douche.
Spot, I was like, he won't even hit home runs for the sick kid. But yeah, Paul O'Neill, not a fan favorite outside of Yankee fans or possibly Reds fans.
Well, I put out there on social media, on my Instagram story, you don't know how impactful and consistent Paul O'Neill was unless you watched every day. Like, this dude was the heart of those championship teams. He was called the Warrior by George Steinbrenner, and on August 21st, they officially retire number 21, Paul
Really?
O'Neill in Monument Park.
Deserved?
As I posted, well deserved, man. That's
Okay.
like, I love when people get the credit that's due. And Paul O'Neill was such a fantastic player, dude. He was so great and still is such a great dude that I love to watch. I'm a big fan. He's a broadcaster on the S Network. Something so humble and charming about the guy. And I know you may think he's an asshole, but he really seems like a really nice guy.
Paul O'Neill.
I love Paul O'Neill, and I was happy to hear that. And it's interesting because, it's trending on Paul O'Neill's Appreciation Day?
But
Derek Jeter, because it's Tuesday. Because
Number
it's
two.
Tuesday.
Number two.
And Derek Jeter's number was the last number to be retired at Yankee Stadium, Monument Hall. Number 2 was retired in 2017.
speaking of your boy Jeets,
Paul O'Neill's the 23rd Yankee to have his number retired since Derek Jeter.
so we love the Michael Jordan Last Dance documentary. We love Tom Brady Man in the Arena. The Montana Cool Under Pressure was sweet. Did they was it an under the radar release or as it keeps getting postponed? The Derek Jeter like 6-part captain series. Is that later this year? Did it not happen? Did it happen? Like,
No, it didn't happen. I don't know when that's coming out.
I looked this up recently because I heard someone mention, Jeter, the captain documentary. Last year there was talk of it, which means is it
another guy that people love to hate on? But
I
have
feel
no
like,
idea how
I feel
great
like
he was.
that's a boner waiting to happen for you. If there was if there was a 6-part Jeter documentary.
Well, Jeter's trending today because it's a Tuesday. He was number 2. And if you look through the tweets, there's so many people wishing him a happy birthday. And I'm like, wait a second. So number 2, his birthday is on 2/20. I'm like, no way. His birthday's June 26th, but everyone's wishing him a happy birthday. Derek Jeter's trending on Paul O'Neill Appreciation Day, number 21 being retired. So again, take of it what you will. Like there's a lot of guys like you know who has ridiculous numbers? When you look back, Eric Davis. Like Eric Davis did amazing things in his career before injuries took over. Like probably never got the credit he deserved.
I never thought of it.
Paul O'Neill did that shit consistently. And Paul O'Neill was good for 20 home runs and he batted 320 something every year. Like the guy was great. And he had a cannon of an arm. He just looked goofy. Looked like your dad out there in right field. So Paul O'Neill props. I like seeing people like that get props. In other news, all 3 men found guilty on federal hate crimes for the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. So that was a huge story.
Those guys,
that's the update there.
Those guys all, we said it when Matt Lauer got in trouble. They could find pictures of anyone and skew it the way they want, meaning Matt Lauer, happy family man pictures his whole life. The minute he's a creepo, every picture they use for Matt Lauer in an article, he looks like a creepo. The pictures they use for these scumbags make them look like the biggest pieces of white trash ever. Like, I know it's like some of them are the hair shots, but any picture that's not a mug shot, they find like the trashiest trash bag pictures of these dudes. And I mean, are they for lifers now in jail? I mean, was that already the case? Like, is this just added on that?
I have to look, yeah. I don't know as far as sentencing, but I do know all.
Spot, look up
all 3 men were
sentencing.
found guilty.
Look up sentencing of what has been happening so far, because only one guy pulled the trigger. So did the guys that didn't pull the trigger, like, what's their crimes? You can't get as much time if you didn't actually pull the trigger, right? Or are they all in cahoots? Like if the 3 of us happen to be somewhere and someone was murdered, Spot pulled the trigger, you and I going to jail as long as he is?
You're accessory to the crime.
Yeah, but is accessory the same as doing the crime?
Yeah, maybe they're trying to.
So they
set
all
a
received
standard.
life in prison.
Wow.
For the original trial. So I don't know. I guess this just maybe this.
I guess so.
I mean, consider it a warning,
Right.
right?
Yeah. Don't hang around pieces of shit, because if they do something terrible,
is that
I don't
fair
know
as far as justice?
I mean, this is just.
That's up to you, but maybe that is the sentiment here. Like,
This might be just to kind of make it clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a wild thought, right? I mean, I get it because of how terrible that whole story and the crime was, but like imagine not being the one to shoot someone and you're like, whoa, I'm going to jail for the rest of my life because this guy, like, yeah, we were up to no good, but he pulled the trigger. Maybe the cover up and everything involved with it. I don't know. It's wild. Accessory to a felony.
Yeah, that's what I said, Eric
Yeah.
B. Shout out to Rakim. Thank you. Jason Brown, what's up? Bill Jackson.
Did you see
Bleacher Bum? What's going on?
In other news alerts, in the world of woke culture, someone coming to the defense of legendary broadcaster Brent Musburger. Remember Catherine Webb, Spot? Catherine Webb. You know the name when I say who. When A.J. McCarron was playing college ball, Catherine Webb was in the crowd. She's a former beauty queen. And Brent Musburger said, well, look at her. She's beautiful. If you're the quarterback of Alabama, you get all the beautiful girls. And she's a looker. Like, said something to the effect of, like, complimenting her. But now...
Jen Sturgis story?
No, he was also the person that pointed out, Jen, you're right. But Brent Musburger got shit for this like a decade later. Like, well, it was creepy. And she was like, what's creepy about it? He pointed out that was a pretty girl in the stands and the quarterback of Alabama has a pretty girlfriend. Isn't that just like, why are we... Like, how are we pretending to be mad over a simple, real observation? It's a simple, real life observation. she's beautiful. Oh, the quarterback of Alabama gets a pretty girlfriend. Like, how? Like, when are we gonna stop taking pretty basic normal statements and try to make something of it?
It's not that. It's looking at that statement from today's perspective.
Like, Spot,
that's what we need to
Spot, do you see
doing.
the actual quote? Look up Catherine Webb. For people that forget on tier 2, you remember what she looks like. Beautiful brunette. She was with AJ
That's why
McCarron.
you can't even pay anybody a compliment. I told you, Rich and I took that human resources course recently, and it's like they made it very clear, like, you can't even compliment a woman's dress. You can't compliment a woman's outfit.
Well, do you remember when Terry
And it's
Bradshaw on Sunday was
So-
like, Aaron Andrews, you like horseback riding? You look beautiful out there. And people are like, what a creep.
Right. Like, you can't, I'm not even joking you. You can't even acknowledge or address their appearance at all, or it's considered in bad taste and could get you written out.
Yeah, there she is. Catherine Webb when she was with AJ McCarron. Go down, Spot. Right there. That was, are they still together? They end up getting married?
Yeah. Her name's changed.
But what was the exact quote from Brent Musburger that she defended? She's like, yeah, it's ridiculous that this guy's even getting shit for this a decade later.
When you're a quarterback at Alabama, you see that lovely lady there? She does go to Auburn, but she's also Miss Alabama, and that's A.J. McCarron's girlfriend. You quarterbacks, you get all the good-looking women. What a beautiful woman. Wow.
I mean, is that like what? There's nothing on earth wrong with that statement.
Let's hear it.
Let's
hear it in context.
Are we all not thinking the same thing?
When you're a quarterback at Alabama, you see that lovely lady there. She does go to Auburn, I will admit that, but she also Miss Alabama, and that's A.J. McCarron's girlfriend, okay? And right there on the right is Dee Bonner. That's A.J.'s mom. Wow, I'm telling you, quarterbacks, you get all the good-looking women. What a beautiful woman. Wow, A.J.'s doing. Whoa.
I mean, she's also a beauty queen.
Wow.
Right?
And she's
he's complimenting a beauty queen? What a nerve it is.
He said she's a good-looking woman. Do you mean the woman that is a Miss Alabama? Like, you can't compliment anyone. Brent Musburger, I think
he insulted all fat linemen because they have ugly wives.
Yeah, he said all you quarterbacks get the beautiful women.
Yeah.
She's a beautiful woman.
So what he really said was, you fat linemen with the hogs.
You can't say
those
beasts.
You got some beastodons,
linemen. The Brunhildes. So
So
he basically insulted all the other people's wives. So they should be mad. But
yeah, just that I saw that story and I'm like, look at that. I'm glad Catherine Webb all these years later is like, hey, why is
Musburger did that for a few people, didn't he? I forgot that story. Didn't he do that not only for your ex Jen?
Brent Musburger's been known to he's been known to point out people in the crowd and they get a buzz because of his.
Yeah, there's like another. I feel like there's another famous story.
Technically, Brent Musburger changed the trajectory of all of our lives.
Yeah,
because by complimenting Jen, got her popular. I met her because she was in Maxim.
Because of that.
Butterfly effect, we're here now. So like, yeah, pretty wild. Brent Musburger in the news. Oh, there was a few other things I wanted to mention. Wendy Williams is done officially. I know Archie, our old producer, is probably bent. Health issues. I hope she's all right. But Wendy Williams stepping away. It's officially the Sherry Shepherd show. Wendy's not coming back. Done permanently. So Wendy Williams stepping away for health. I saw a really cool picture and video of the Obamas are building like some sick place in Hawaii for like their future retirement, and
it's just dope.
It sort of went with our conversation before of like, where are you going to live when you're older? Like, you going to be in California forever? Who knows? Like, the Obamas have pretty much said, we're building this place in Hawaii. One day we will live here.
It's the Magnum PI mansion.
Hey, look, dude, it looks dope. So the Obamas moving to Hawaii.
Good for them.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well deserved.
I mean, he's from Hawaii, so
yeah,
full circle.
Good for him.
Well deserved.
That's the life, right?
I want a Hawaii house.
Let's see. Wendy Williams, Obama, a couple other quickies. Cove. Bill Belichick. The whole Brian Flores. Remember the whole Brian Flores thing started because Belichick with the text message.
Yeah.
Brian Flores. What do they call that? Extending the olive branch, like trying to like chat again. If someone did that to you and you're Belichick, would you be like, yeah, fuck you? Or would you be like, I get it. You had to do what you had to do. Like, if you're Bill Belichick, are you holding sour grapes towards Brian Flores? Or are you saying, like, if he's like, yo, Bill, I had to do what I had to do. Wow, you put me in the middle of some shit. Like, where does that relationship go?
I feel like Belichick's a no-nonsense guy. I feel like this was too much nonsense for him, and he's probably left a bad taste.
I've sent you a message and it was a wrong message. I'm sorry. You dragged me through the ringer.
Right.
Like, or do you think he's like, I get it, Brian. You had to do what you had to do as a man.
Nope.
Like,
He
how does
did what he had
Belichick
to do, but at Bill Belichick's expense,
Right.
which kind of sucks. You know, I would feel bad about that probably as well. I mean, again, it's a torn situation because, yeah, if Flores was being done dirty and it appeared that he was, you want to
I wonder
make
if
it right. But again, he did put Bill Belichick in the middle. So it's tough. It's a tough scenario.
I
don't
wonder
know.
if ahead of the situation, if he gave a courtesy to Belichick and said, "Hey, listen."
That's a good point,
I'm
Spot. Because if
using
ahead of
this-
time he's like, Bill, I have to use this for.
I'm sure he did. And that being said, Spot.
And if Belichick
Then-
was like, "Please don't," and he did it anyway,
Well, then yeah.
Yeah.
But
That
think
would
about it.
denote-
I don't give
yeah.
away Spot's phone number.
you have
without-
in the past.
No, I really don't. But I don't give away Spot's phone number without say, hey man, can I give you your number out? They want your contact. You think this guy's gonna throw Bill Belichick, a powerful man in the NFL, under the bus completely without at least running by?
I don't know. Maybe
First.
maybe that's why the olive branch is being extended because maybe he did Belichick dirty for all you know.
Let's go to the phones real quick.
Who we got, Spot?
It's time. I don't know what you said, but it's Jim Ramsey.
Yo, what's up, Jim?
Something about history.
Hey,
Jim.
he just wants to be on the phone. He just wants to be on the phone for 222.
Oh, it's time!
First of all,
It's time!
I'm just calling
No, we
to
gotta go.
relish in the moment.
All right, gotta go. Gotta go. Thanks.
But Bill, Spot,
No.
he wants to.
He's
Why are you so rude to him?
No, I'm saying we got to acknowledge it. It's time.
That's what he was doing.
That's
with
what
him,
he was
but with
doing.
him on the phone, I can't.
Well, thank you, Jim.
I got to play something. What are we playing? What did we say we were going to play?
Whatever you want. I mean, you had all that
Pick a
time.
song.
Born to be Alive. I mean, but thank you, Jim.
Thanks,
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
Well,
Jim.
we all had our alarms set.
Jim Ramsey wants to acknowledge that
Thanks,
now.
Jim. I appreciate it, brother.
You make a wish, everybody. 2:22 at 2:22 on the East. 22 seconds have passed. Let's do it. Make your wish. Fortune and glory, happy penis for all. Party time on a Tuesday. Born to be alive.
Born to be alive.
That's my penis's part.
Born
On a Tuesday.
Born to be alive.
Thank you. Underrated fucking pump up jam.
And it's over.
It's over.
223.
There we go. Did you make your wish? I did.
Appreciate you, Jim Ramsey.
Would have had more time if Jim Ramsey didn't call.
I mean, that was his
That
thing.
was sort of rude.
I know. That was fine.
But thank you.
He called to say he wanted to relish in the moment with us, and you yelled at him and put him off the phone.
But we all had plans. We said it earlier. We're like, we set our alarms. We're going to do this moment. And Jim Ramsey
You don't think-
distracted
it seemed
us.
like it meant something to him.
No, I don't think it did. I
He
think he
was
just
like
wanted to be the guy.
Grand Marshal of it.
No, I don't think so.
He was.
Remember like when Gruber used to call us when someone died? And he was Grim Gruber? Like
Yeah,
Jim
all right.
Ramsey
Jim
is like
Ramsey's
Jim
the-
Ramsey
he's
seems
the-
to be the guy that likes to call in when there's like some type of moment.
I mean, he got the moment. He was there.
All right.
I didn't take it away from him. He was on the phone.
A little rude.
I don't care.
mean, you don't care?
Little rude, you know?
You know?
A little bit. That made me feel a little weird.
Yeah.
No.
You don't feel a little bad?
Nope.
With how you treated Jim?
No.
Yeah.
I think he should have thought like, "Hey, these guys got it."
No, we knew he was going to do that.
I didn't know he was going to do it. He
I
didn't
knew
call
he was
ahead.
gonna do
He called
that.
like right on
What
time.
do you think he was calling for? I knew what he was calling. I thought that was you were
Nah.
telling me to take his call so he could make the announcement. I
No.
hope you made the wish. I made a wish. I wish you all well.
No, he's calling back. Let's see what he says.
He's probably going to be like, yeah, Spot, you made me look like an asshole. Thanks.
Jim, do you feel offended by what I did?
I'm back, you guys. It's ADD radio. You guys are on the fly. I'm cool.
See?
I mean, you are cool. We appreciate
going
it.
anywhere.
You're cool,
Yeah.
but that's why you are okay with it because you're cool.
Yeah.
I'm okay.
Hey,
with it.
can I bring something else up?
I would love
totally
to
out
hear
of the
you
blue.
bring
No,
something
ask
out of the
Spot,
blue.
see if he's okay with it.
Yeah, let's just
The,
let's completely derail the show in your direction.
Yeah, complete. The Eagles are on a new tour right now, and they're playing the Hotel California album in sequence, and then doing a greatest hits, a set after that. I got to see them last night in Charlotte. Don Henley and Joe Walsh are both 74, and they're still bringing it. This is a top-notch show. I really enjoyed it.
I saw a picture you posted, and it looked fantastic.
Yeah, I saw you out and about partying again.
And again, it goes back to our previous
Yeah.
conversation. You get regrounded and rewired and recharged, and you remember like, yeah, that's my shit, and you feel good about it. And I'm happy you went out
it
there with
was
your friends.
great.
Yeah.
I saw the Eagles 2-3 years ago. at Dodger Stadium. They were fantastic. Glenn Fry's kid stepped in for him. It was nice. It was a nice show. Thanks. Can I hang up on Jim now?
Yeah. Bye, guys.
Don Henley. Yeah. Again, Walsh, the whole crew. The guy that sings. I feel like, you know what? Can't tell you.
I feel like Jim. Honestly,
that guy. They're all pretty badass.
I love Jim, and I love his insight, and I hope he continues to call. But I feel like he stole that moment from us. That's my opinion.
It was his moment.
No, it was our moment. It's our show. It's our moment. I think he stole it from us. That's my stance.
I mean, we could agree to disagree.
Yeah,
I'm cool with that.
I'm
happy sharing it with him.
Who is
happy.
the Tuesday? Who?
I want Jim to know.
Did people send Jim Ramsey memes
Spot thinks
for
he's
3
the
years?
Tuesday guy.
Saying,
I didn't get that.
Hey, Spot, your day's coming up in 2022. It's going to be Tuesday.
Well, honestly,
I got to give it to Jim Ramsey.
I don't think you were prepared for it. He was prepared to call. You weren't even prepared to play some music.
I mean, you were like, "What song?"
Yeah.
I didn't realize that's right. It's Spot's Tuesday day.
Yeah, I think Jim Ramsey had a picture of Jim Ramsey. I wanted to share the day with him. I really did. I love Jim Ramsey's insight. He's one of my favorite guys. He's like our unpaid consultant.
I know.
I love talking to Jim. Great guy. Nice guy.
News alerts before we get out of here.
Is that okay with Jim Ramsey?
Let me give a few
okay
shout
when
outs.
we talk about other things?
A few shout outs.
All right.
Jimmy Frankum. What's up, Jimmy Frankum? It's my guy. What's up, G. Samara? What's up, G. Samara? G wanted to know if I was pumped about Sum 41 and Simple Plan doing a show together.
That's probably a fun one. I don't know if I'm going out of my way for it, but
I could do it
without
without Simple Plan. I'm not a Simple Plan guy.
Oh, I could go without Sum 41.
They rock way harder, which is why.
Yeah, rock harder, but who's got more songs I like?
Fucking Sum 41's a way better band than
whatever.
Simple
To
Plan.
each his own. Who headlines it?
Sum 41. Easy. Derek Whibley's a badass compared to that corny band. So, I said, yeah, I'm not a Simple Plan guy. But, G, you're my guy. Kenneth.
I mean, honestly, though, in the
Jim Ramsey,
in the mainstream world, Simple Plan had way more songs, though, right? You'd say? Sum 41 had one song, Fat Lip. Right?
I don't know. Hit-wise, I don't know.
You'd call...
I know they're good. I know they're legit.
You'd call Sum 41 a one-hit wonder in the mainstream world.
I feel like there's another song or two.
Let's say Sum 41 songs.
By the way...
What do you think, Jim?
Well, guys.
Jim Ramsey. So, yeah, I didn't realize it was Spotty's day. So, I mean, I guess...
Why would you? Why would you care about my feelings?
You missed our anniversary, and that hurt Covino's feelings.
You missed my anniversary, my 15-year anniversary. You didn't say a word.
Brett Maxwell says Rich likes weenie bands. True.
I mean, I do. There's no denying. I don't care. Sum 41 is good. Simple Plan is hella lame. That's from Game. I don't care what, but I don't care. I'm telling you.
I'm not saying you need to care.
I'm telling you
the truth.
I'm just asking you, who do you think is bigger? And I guess
think
depends on the
Simple Plan
audience,
is corny
right?
as hell, bro. I don't know. I know they have to me they have one song that I know.
You know, they have like 5 songs. You know,
I don't fucking know any of those corny songs.
You absolutely do.
I'm not making my playlist.
Yeah, you're lying.
If I'm gonna make a corny,
maybe
playlist,
don't make your playlist, but you know, like 5 songs by Simple Plan. You know,
they're on my corny as hell playlist.
Jim does have a nice pomp though.
That is a fucking sweet pompadour. Look at that.
And he has a Mets polo shirt. He looks like a trainer. Is Jim like the Mets
majestic?
He's a Mets personal trainer.
He's got the Turk Wendell necklace on. Right? He used to wear like
I got this from Turk Wendell in 1999.
I always said Wendell.
Turk Wendell.
It's Wendell? I always said Turk Wendell for sure. But I'll take your word for it. You're a Mets fan.
I mean, I think, you know why? It's like when people say Carlos Beltran and other people say Carlos Beltran.
Who, by the way, is stepping into the Yes broadcast booth with Paul O'Neill.
Carlos Beltran.
Yeah.
Who got a raw deal, by the way? He was the Mets manager.
Yeah.
And then because of all the cheating scandals, it was like grand opening, grand closing. He didn't even get to actively be the Mets manager. So I think in writing, in the history books, in 100 years from now, it'll be like, Carlos Beltran is on the list of Mets managers, but does it count if he never coached a game?
No. By the way, Sum 41, they had Into You, right? Is that the name of it?
In Too Deep?
In Too Deep.
How does that go?
Because I'm in too deep. But it was my...
Their biggest one is...
No, now you're doing Meant to Live by Switchfoot.
Oh. Some footage.
Same thing.
Rolling through the party like my name was still Steve Covino.
What say you, Jim?
Yeah, Jim. Oh,
All right,
but I've seen
I
them.
think none of this compares to the Eagles.
I've seen them cover Metallica in a pretty majestic way, and they rock out, those dudes. So anyway, G. Samara, what's up? All the guys who hit me up, the $10 million man, Dave Castillo, appreciate you, and all the feedback we get throughout the week. I'll give a few more shout outs on this Tuesday, because I wish you guys fortune and glory. John Soibonhang, what's up, John Soibonhang? Greg Irish, Kelly Grubbs, Eric Ertel, Eric Ertel, Donnie, Jeremy Dratch, Skylar Brendan, Omar Molina, Charlie Brown. Who's that? Brown. What's up, Charlie Brown?
This is officially
Thank you, guys.
This is the last day that I'll ever play this ever again.
Tuesday.
Because Jim Ramsey ruined it.
Sorry, Spawn.
He took away, like, for years. I don't want anyone to ever send me memes ever again. Keep your memes to yourself. I don't want to see anything about Harry Potter. I don't want to see anything about Golden Girls. I don't want to see anything. Beard memes. Keep it to yourself.
But he wanted to spend the moment with us.
It's blown up for years for me.
And for the record,
And he ruined it. I had my alarm set.
He hit us up in a group chat.
I had my
Hey,
alarm
I'm
set
chiming in
ready to
today.
go.
No, he reminded us. He said,
Jim
remember,
Ramsey
set
show.
your clocks.
No, it's a Jim Ramsey show.
At 2:22 on the East, I'll be calling in to say what's up. And I said, sure.
Now Jim has to get back to stretching out the pitchers
Yeah.
and catchers.
Why? Why? It's not like they're coming in until March 5th.
I know. Is that what it is now? March 5th is the first day.
Is that official?
I don't know. Spot just said March 5th.
That's what what's his name? I forget his name from Fox Sports. News guy. What's his name?
Ralph Irvin.
Ralph Irvin. Yeah, Ralph Irvin said that.
March
or was
5th.
it Steve DeSager?
Well,
one of them said it recently.
There's one other quick note, and then we'll say have a good day.
I'm sure Jim can call and clarify.
Juwan Howard. Fair suspension, 5 games, $40,000 for the little mush of the head, the little slap.
Well, again,
Michigan college basketball. If you don't know that story,
the
then
fact
where
of the
you been?
matter is this: I'm a subdued Stephen A. Smith. Because you either get subdued or like outlandish.
Have you ever seen the SNL?
What?
Keenan Thompson, Stephen A.
No.
Can we play that?
I think
SNL gets you
he's
tagged,
underrated.
right? Yeah. I get it.
Anyway.
No, but he does.
The fact of the matter is this: should he be fired?
Play that?
I respect Juwan Howard far too much. So anyway, you don't fire a guy for that. This is heat of the competition. This is like competitive sports.
You don't fire
Tempers
a
are
guy
gonna flare.
and, change
They
your whole
suspended
organization.
him. When they suspended him for the rest of the season, I didn't know how many games were left. So even that sounded too harsh to me.
Yeah, 5 games.
But it's only 5 games left. So yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's totally fair. You don't engage in fisticuffs as a coach of the team when they look up to you with other coaches. It's a bad look.
Yeah, but also at the same time,
it's the heat of the moment.
Yeah, if you're the guy, what are they going to rearrange their whole program and organization?
No.
They built this program and everything, and he took this team, pretty far last year, and this year not so great, but
So anyway, Juwan Howard got into a fight, if you guys missed it, with the assistant coach of the opposing team, if I'm not mistaken. So, your coach is fighting. You got to do something. The rest of the season suspended.
Well,
which I think is fair, 5 games. To fire him would have been ridiculous.
I'd say this is a whole conversation, but I don't know anyone that's going to think this is.
You could get in a fight in your job. Would that require a firing?
What's the old?
If Spencer came into the studio and he punched you in the nose, and you got
You got in a fight you got in a fist fight at an accent party. What happened?
I did. I got in a fight, and my boss Jim McClure at the time totally understood that I wasn't looking for any trouble, man. But it happened. And now we're talking competitive sports. Juices are flowing, tempers are flaring. Shit could happen.
And
it was handled. I think it was handled fine.
Yeah,
a bad look for
you're not
Howard,
gonna-
but he'll pay the price.
You're not going to change your whole program. You're right
No.
for that. And by the way, the Stephen A. Smith clip on SNL,
Yeah.
look it up when you get a chance.
Yeah.
He
They
put,
really
actually
are,
Keenan plays Michael Irvin,
Oh, okay.
and some other dude plays Stephen A.
Yeah.
And they're just they make fun of how over the top it is. Like everything they're saying is like preposterous, you're crazy, and like
funny.
it's completely over the top and stupid and funny. So checked it out
Yeah,
when
but
you get a
sometimes,
chance.
like I said, there's 2 levels to Mike Tyson. There's real hyper hour, eat your children, Mike Tyson. And then there's like, yeah, I cry before every fight. There's that. Like, there's 2 Stephen A's. There's like, super hyped up Stephen A. using big crazy words. And then there's very subdued Stephen A.
You don't know which one you're getting.
Yeah, it's very serious. I'm exhausted. I cannot believe what I saw with the Knicks. There's levels.
All right, you know what I got to do? I got to write down all these amongst my scribbles and doodles. There's I got to nothing on my list
scribbles,
today. So.
not scribbles and scrabbles.
My scribbles and scrabbles.
And doodles.
Honestly, no joke.
Scribbles and doodles.
The 4 to 5
Is that the name of your next podcast?
Scribbles
and doodles.
Scribbles and doodles. Yeah, check it out.
Is that your playlist? The name of your playlist?
Scribbles and doodles.
Scribbles and doodles. Check
Scribbles
it out.
and doodles of the early
I
2000s.
drop a new episode every week. Scribbles and doodles.
Not scribbles and scrabbles.
No, I have 5 things that I thought I was going to get to all of them today. I got to none of them. So I guess we'll have some fun stories tomorrow.
You wanted to dive into my fucking past relationships for an hour. So it takes up a lot of time when you do that. I'm just kidding. That was fun. All right. So, hey, we had some fun.
I'm going to write these down for tomorrow before
deeper
I forget.
conversations, and now you got extra shit for tomorrow.
Well, no, a lot of times I'll throw out my notes and I'll forget. So let me write them all down for tomorrow now. And you guys have a great day. Until then. Arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land. Enjoy your Tuesday.
Bye now.
Bye now.